it going? Welcome, 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 welcome.
And you were neuro-different. Neuro-deficit, and you were neuro-different.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm just getting a couple of little technical things out of the way. Hence, I needed a bit of extra time.
Neuro-deficit, and you were neuro-different. Neuro-deficit, and you were neuro-different. And you were neuro-different. Neuro-deficit.
Remember to click the like button. Drop a like. Smash it like it's a terrible APA therapist.
Neuro-deficit, and you were neuro-different.
Like it's... Did you enjoy my song? Did you like it?
And you were neuro-different.
You Jansen,
Neuro-deficit,
neurodeficit. Charlie,
and you were neuro-different.
you are neurodifferent. Right, let me just sort out a couple of things. I feel like I'm having to click things like 5 times just to make things work. I'm feeling like I'm having to go clicky, clicky, clicky. Do you know what I mean? So, welcome to this stream. So I couldn't think of a stream title. So I went with Live on the Spectrum. Just because. Oops.
Neuro-deficit, and you were neuro-different. Neuro-deficit, and you were neuro-different. Neuro-deficit,
That's all I've got in me today. It's batshit, I know.
and you were neuro-different.
How is everyone? I see people just arriving.
Deficit, and you were neuro-different. And you were neuro-different.
Anyone who's new to the channel is going to be very confused.
Neuro-deficit, neuro-deficit, neuro-deficit,
What level are you? Doesn't matter. You are.
neuro-deficit, and you were neuro-different.
That was the one. I pressed the wrong button. Welcome everybody for joining this stream. Sorry, actually I've got some sad news. Terribly sad news. Oh, Wendy has shingles. I'm sorry, Wendy. I did not realise, but I had pressed the button for the sad music, not to take the piss, but prior to reading that you had shingles. And that is why we are listening to sad piano music. Wendy, for you.
And you were neuro-different.
Okay. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is I may or may not, probably am, but we'll see. Doing another live stream tomorrow that is not part of the scheduled programming, but it is to celebrate the tragic first year of Hydra's 8 kittens. So tomorrow, come back tomorrow. That's what I'm trying to say. This is still sad music. Stop with the happy stuff. Just stop with the happy stuff, okay? What we need to do is talk about the differences between being neurodeficit or being...
And you were neurodifferent.
Okay. So, for those of you that don't have very long, and I know it's quite a few of you, quite busy people, right? You're just popping in and you're wondering what the hell's going on. I'll just spoil it for you, okay? I'll just give you the spoiler up front. I think that TV shows should be done like this, okay? And I do it in some of my YouTube videos, not all of them. To be fair, I actually do need people to watch the YouTube videos. But even so, in some of my YouTube videos, and I will endeavor to do it more often, if I'm doing like employment advice videos or whatever, I will do a TLDR right at the beginning. So you can literally just get the point in 2 minutes and then fuck off if you want to. That's completely fine, okay? Because I get irritated by the videos where it's like, get to the point, get to the point, get to the point. So I'm going to get to the point now, and then we can play with it. So the point is that if you are like, by the way, I think Abby from Love on Spectrum, Abby Romeo is great. I actually really do, and I think the way she's handled a lot of things, I thought she did quite well on the Logan Paul podcast, especially when Logan Paul and his companion, I think he's called Mike actually, trying to fish for tragic fish for tragic backstory stuff, and she wasn't having any of it. The point is, if you're like Abby, which you can't be, but if you're like Abby, you are.
And you were neurodifferent.
No.
Neurodeficit?
Deficit. You're a
Neurodeficit?
Yes, thank you, Christine. And if you are not like Abby, you are...
And you were neurodifferent.
There you go. That's it. That's the new diagnostic criteria for the DSM-6, everyone. We're done. See you next week. That's it. Someone clip that, put it on YouTube, and it's the video to end everything. There you go. Nothing else needs to happen. We're done. So, what is, I haven't labeled these buttons. Oh, I have. Just really small font.
And you were neurodifferent.
Okay. So if you haven't had ABA, floor time therapy, or speech therapy, or you haven't been pulled out of school by your rather overbearing mother, should I say, then you are...
And you were neurodifferent.
But if you... I mean, look, if you're non-speaking, according to these metrics, you are...
And you were neurodifferent.
Yeah.
Neurodeficit, and you were neurodifferent.
Oh, dearie me. I feel like I'm near itchy today. It's the heat. I'm squiggly brain today. Isabella, she's so wise. Yeah. Yes, I feel positively enlightened by the messaging. I feel as though there's enough division, I suppose. What do I think could be a useful thing to add to the conversation?
Neurodeficit,
Or
and you were neurodifferent.
it's it's the whole levels thing over again. If you ever wonder why I bang on about levels so much, what's happening in the chat? Yeah, if you ever wonder why I bang on about the whole levels thing so much, it's so irritating. It's just unbelievably irritating. I just like I guess some of it is like in the politest possible way, politest, most non-political way, political way possible. It is sort of like mild kind of American kind of exceptionalism insofar as most of the world doesn't use level numbers, which are all context based anyway. We all know this, right? Levels are context based. There is no
Neurodeficit, and you were neurodifferent.
it's I think we possibly need to look beyond, autism dating shows. And I saw a comment from Sam, Yosemite Sam, who said something like, we need a queer eye for the straight guy, but an autism version. And that's kind of funny both ways that you look at it, because I'm not sure if the autistic person would be the queer one in that show or not. Insofar as, is it neurotypicals helping autistic people dress? Or is it autistic people sharing passions, insight, and joy with neurotypicals? Let me know. Levels without context make no sense. This is true. General Otto, I don't want to brag, but I recently got to level 12. General Otto, I finished all the levels when I was in school. I'm on the DLC now. I'm in like the Badlands now. And like a question people, I am not a guru, FYI. It's obvious to most of the people that hang around here quite often. I'm not, but like my point is, there's a question people literally ask and direct it at me quite a lot in comments and things. Is, does autism get better with age or whatever? And the fact of the matter is, from a scientific literature perspective, there actually isn't really any research on autism and aging. Like, that's a whole area that just doesn't basically exist. Yeah, you'll find some papers, but no one gives a shit about autistic people after they reach 18. If you're 18, you're either no longer autistic or fuck off. Don't care. Which is kind of partly why I think some of the cast on Love on the Spectrum stand out, because they are basically children with beards. Primary sex characteristics and children. I think that's possibly what the ogling is about. It's weird. It seems strange to me. You have grown-ass men and, have their lives so utterly controlled. And in terms of, like, does autism get better with age? Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, certainly my life, I've had a lot of trauma and stuff. And, you go through you get scarred as you age. Eventually you end up looking like a shark, a Greenland shark. Just covered in scars. Okay? That's life for every single human. That's how it goes. But the point is you kind of learn and you kind of level up and you kind of get XP and you kind of get better. So in some respects, life does get better. Life does get easier. And then in other aspects, it can get harder too. Sorry, I've just seen something on the wall I want to look at. There's a weird thing, like a pipe might have leaked or something on the wall. So I'll have a look at that later. But I did need to have a look now. Okay. Put my mind at ease. I'm just going to be looking at that little bit of like... I have to repaint anyway. I have some more paint for the walls. But yeah, whatever. It's just not the end of the world. Anyway. There's another advantage of just living in an ancient property. Is like, any damage, it's just like, just slap some paint on it. It'll be fine. It's like, if there's a leak, just get a towel. It's like, there's no panic. It's not like it's going to damage any modern fixtures and fittings. Living in an ancient building. Mike, there is nothing about autism aging out there. We live in a world where there's barely any research into female aging and ovaries aging. Oh shit, that's a good point. I hadn't even considered. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, and you would know. And yeah, that's an interesting point. Yeah, I mean, female biology is almost, compared to, say, for example, male biological sciences. Yeah, totally different. And the fact of the matter is yeah, aging and autism, it's like, you're having a laugh, aren't you? What do you mean? Oh, music is very loud. You are correct. I will pull the slider down. Yeah. So anyway, the point is it is actually effectively an area of complete under-research. Complete and total under-research. And I forgot what I was trying to say. I've lost it now. I got distracted by the wall. There's like a leak on the wall. Under the picture. I know. I'll have to investigate, but I feel like it might require some upstairs investigation. Thank you, T-Fairy. T-Fairy is now distracting me. T-Fairy. You are...
Neurodeficit.
T-Fairy is...
Neurodeficit. 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 Neurodeficit.
It's a long story. It's not what you think. You misheard.
And you were neuro-different.
Yep. Sorry. Sorry, the Christine sound sample is actually linked to the backing track, which is why the music moved to the same as the backing track, if that makes sense. I should probably separate them out. I only have 4 volume sliders and I'm using all 4. And the other, I'll have virtual ones as well, but it's just messy. So yeah, sorry, I'm just super distracted. So I'm like super tired and then I'm super distracted on top. It's a heady mixed. Oh shit, what was I going to say? Does autism get better with age? Oh, right. Yeah, with respect to levels. Okay, look, I need to just ignore the chat for a second and close my eyes. Is that okay with everyone? The thing is the whole level thing it's just complete, it's more or less complete bull crap how everyone's using it. Like, and I know, like, I feel bad because shorthand in the autism community, we use certain labels, certain ideas to communicate with each other. If somebody said to me that they were sort of, they had autism diagnosis, autism level 2 or something like that, I don't even bat an eyelid. I'm not here to sort of gatekeep anything, and I'm not here to I don't judge people in the slightest. If it's like inside the autism community, I do have different standards, yes. But like, it's like someone says this and it's just shorthand to me. It just tells me, okay, right, so this person probably sits in this kind of region, and it's quite a wide region of space. I mean, it's a wide paintbrush. It doesn't tell me anything about them as a person or their values, or actually it doesn't tell me anything about their support needs, actually. It tells me fuck all about their support needs. But it just tells me what their support needs are in relation to something else, and it tells me they've been diagnosed under DSM-5. That's what it tells me, okay? So that's all I'm saying. And it's completely context dependent. Like, so context dependent. And here's something that no one ever does. Okay, here's something no one ever does. There should be like 2 level numbers. There's a level number for repetitive behaviors, and there's a level number for communication. So you've actually got 2 level numbers. So, and look, this begs a bigger question. Why do then some diagnostic paperwork say, why does some diagnostic paperwork say autism severity level 1 or something? I'm sorry to tell you, the person who wrote that just is lazy. It's just like, and the doctors as well. Doctors are also kind of lazy with their diagnostic paperwork for anything, to be honest. So it's really, really, really messy. It's a messy, messy world out there. Don't forget too that a lot of, even the places that don't use the DSM use the ICD, and that hasn't been ratified by every country. So the World Health Organization does publish the ICD, the International Classification of Diseases. What a great name. It's a bit better than mental disorders though, isn't it? Don't you think? And then when you put autism in there, mental disorders. Hang on a second.
Neurodeficit. And you were neurodifferent.
Yeah. So International Classification of Diseases, anyway, is currently its 11th version, but version 10 is used in all kinds of places. Asperger's is still used as a contemporary diagnosis category in many countries, European countries, including places like Germany. It's a colossal mess, which actually makes the whole levels debate even more facetious, because if most of the world doesn't use labels, level labels, see how my brain is right now? If most of the world doesn't use level labels, then what fucking use are they in online conversation when you're talking to people from around the world? Very, very little. What I do have is some lengthy documents talking about my support needs. Great. And also, by the way, reflecting on that document after a few years is like interesting, because I would say some of those needs are stronger now than they were, and some of them are definitely lesser. It depends on context. Sorry for my rant, everyone. I'm looking again at the chat. I appreciate this is a bit more collaborative now. Sorry, everyone, for my ungainly rant. As for severity levels, when the DSM-5 was introduced, it upset an awful lot of people. And I don't know this contemporarily, but I do know what people are advocating for with the 6th. Oh, thank you very much, Tea Fairy. An early birthday cake. With a spider. There's a tiny spider in between the 2 towers. What the fuck is this? There is a tiny spider. There's a cobweb between this. And there's a little spider in it. Yeah, I know. It's a tiny little baby spider. I don't know if it's this other spider or what. I think it's confused as to why its house is on fire. Polly, no. Polly's just done that. Got Polly to blow out the candles. Thank you very much, T-Fairy. Oh, I got Polly. Oh dear, actually. The baby spider's gone. Polly just started up the little air conditioning. There's a portable air conditioning unit down there. It's been very, very hot. And I thought it would be fun to just use the air conditioning unit to blow out the candles and say it was Polly. It wasn't Polly. Polly breathes like an asthmatic cat. She's not asthmatic, but still. Unfortunately, I did not think this through because the little spider that was in between the two candles is no longer there. The little spider is somewhere. It exists. But I don't know where. So what I'm probably going to do is not eat that. I mean, do you know what I mean? Little spider. I'll just put it down. Thank you, T-Fairy. It's the thought that counts. Check for spiders before offering people food. Yes. Something as terrible has happened to one of my squishmallows. We're going to have the sad music for this. Alright, I'm not doing it any other way. There's no other way to say this. I have some very bad news. You don't get to watch this live, T-Fairy. It's your dog. Can everyone hear me okay? I have a very sad Plushy story. It's a really sad Plushy story. It doesn't involve a cat. So, last year, Helen and Fam sent me a couple of squishmallows. One of them is my accountant. And this lovely pear dinosaur. Actually, I think the other one is the accountant. Okay. I do like this Plushy very much. Okay. Plushy lives on my desk. Just here. Sometimes over there. It's squished in. This Plushy has a friend. This is the Plushy friend. Original Squishmallow. Now, yesterday, we caught Trudy, our little chihuahua, running around the house with it. She wasn't hurting it. She was just running around the house with it. And it was really, really cute. And Trudy doesn't play. She's very serious. She's a chihuahua. She's an angry house brick. You don't often see her on the channel because she barks like incessantly. Well, not incessantly, but like she screams but she is a lovely dog and she doesn't play with anything. But she discovered that she really liked this Plushy. Well, we thought, that's okay, let her have it. She was just carrying it around. She carried it downstairs, carried it under the table. And then I went and made a cup of tea and Nina just burst out laughing. Says you need to get in here quick. And I come running in. And Trudy is shagging the life out of my Squishmallow. Now her Squishmallow. She was completely going to town on the Squishmallow. She was sort of biting it and humping it. She was humping it furiously like a power drill. She's an old dog. She's an old Chihuahua. I mean, it's not the sort of behavior that I'd expect to see. And I just cried. I just burst out of crying. It's really, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know what to tell you, but it was awful and funny and awful. Yeah. Plushy violation. I'm sorry. And so, assuming that small Squishmallows can be washed, because I clean them just with just irregularly, to be fair. I mean, my non-Squishmallows, like my manta ray, just gets lobbed in the washing machine. My duck, because of sentimental value and how freaking old it is, has rarely been washed, but it will get a little, a light wash, baby wipes or whatever. It was washed in the washing machine about a year ago on a gentle hand wash. Normally Plushy, I'll just wipe it down with a wipe or just use water and just, whatever. Tall hobbit stitches. Squishmallows are made to go in the washing machine, but it cannot, nothing can wash away the psychic damage. And she does not have it anymore. They're fine in the wash. Nice. Actually, that makes Squishmallows kind of superior. Sorry, what's happening chat-wise? Are we... I'm sorry for the... Orange Cat leader NT too hard today, I'm dizzy. Yeah, this happens. I put it in a netted bag before putting it in the washing machine. Yeah, that's a good tip. I do likewise, although I haven't washed squishies with a netted bag. I'll do that with this jumper. I'll put this in a netted bag. Hard to believe that story was worse than anything on the ass live stream. The ass live stream was a serious point. Just bathed in ass. Put it in a 40-degree wash, it'll be fine. This is true, Helen, but I'm never going to squish it again. I'd be afraid the plushies would lose their scent. That's the interesting point, actually, Zedbird, because plushies do have a certain kind of plushy smell to them. It's hard to explain. It's kind of synthetic and chemically. Maybe stay friend with friend plushies to recover from the psychic damage. Yeah, it's less about the plushie's psychic damage and more about my psychic damage. Did not enjoy. Trudy, you are
Neurodeficit.
Yeah. And Polly.
And you were neurodifferent.
Every day of the week. Polly's just deaf. Speech therapy doesn't work for Polly. So, yeah, sorry for the weird story. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say. I kind of feel, part of me feels a little bit bad, not planning a live stream properly or not doing the same sort of content regularly. But L. I mean,
Neurodeficit.
nope, that's not what I was looking for. Mike, he's lavender or rosemary scent on the wall balls. What makes you think we still have those, Ellen? How long do you think they lasted in the house? Put it this way, I don't even remember like toys disintegrate in this house. Stuff has to be like hidden or placed places. I put a picture in the Discord of Polly with this fluffy nudibranch, which she went and got. She went and got the nudibranch Plushy and cuddled up with it. LD is learning disability. Yeah. Obviously, there's only 26 letters in the alphabet. And, we're always going to run into like acronym issues all the time. Like just humans, English speaking, Latin alphabet humans. And, but LD, often mentioned in autism adjacent circles usually means learning disabilities. And that tends to apply to intellectual disabilities because learning disabilities in some parts of the world mean things like neurodivergences. Dyslexia is sometimes considered a learning disability, but it's not. Like in the UK, when you talk about learning disabilities, you're just talking about a specific service almost. Adults with learning disabilities is a part of social security. It's part of the health service. Lisa, this one. Maybe Polly needs to go in the washing machine. Don't wash machine your cats. No, don't do it. We actually have we've got a sticker on our cat on the washing machine door, reminding us to check for cats, just in case. Emma used to like going in there. Shoikler has bought the shark. Are you trying to tell us something, Shoikler? Yeah, Samdy Sam, welcome. My cat's enjoying this dance interlude. Yosemite Sam, I've only got one thing to say to you. No. Sorry.
And you were neurodifferent.
Thank you. Thank you, Christine. I wouldn't say that to her at all.
Neurodeficit.
Oh, no, don't be so fast on the whole, It's not all about superpowers and
Neurodeficit.
Deficits. It could be...
And you were neurodifferent.
No, what? That's not even a thing. Everyone's different. Neuro or otherwise. Sorry, Sam, for the impromptu porno music. That was unintentional. Yo, Sam, do I have a woman trapped in there? I don't know. I wouldn't want to assume. I think I still got...
Rusty spoon.
Neurodeficit. And you were neurodifferent.
Do you know what? It's quite a good mashup, isn't it?
Neurodeficit. And you were neurodifferent. And you were neurodifferent. Neurodeficit.
It's terrible. It's terrible. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm losing the plot. I'm losing the workflow. Did the Rusty Spoon deployment work?
I like to touch them.
Neurodeficit.
I like to touch them.
Furiously rubbing Rusty Spoons. Do you know what? On my video, there was so much that never made the cut because some of it was too wild.
I like rusty spoons.
Thanks, Meg. That's called the bridge.
Neurodeficit. And you were neurodifferent.
I like to touch them.
Sorry. Rusty Spoon theory. Yeah, I'm basically. Oh, Rusty Spoons would have been such a good character name. I can't believe I just missed so many things. There were so many puns I missed. Somebody posted something about parallel play, as in like a double entendre. It was in response to my being railroaded, which wasn't meant as a double entendre. Literally. Some of the cast, particularly when they've appeared on interviews, have been railroaded. They've been heavily prompted. And I thought they did really well. I thought Abby's examples were probably the best ones of managing interviews. I mean, Abby's probably like way better at any sort of like live PR than I am. She's so good. She's properly on the ball. Before I left IKEA, I took a picture of Blahaj having some Swedish meatballs. Yes, into the Patreon, into the Discord. We need to see it. The very parallel play I thought was a really good pun. That made me giggle. That made me giggle. Because if I'd have known about it before. I think probably one of the biggest frustrations that I have just with YouTube, the whole thing, is just like either thinking I should have said that afterwards or just missing something entirely. There's a really good YouTuber who made a video on the music behind reality TV shows. It wasn't about Love on the Spectrum specifically, if at all. He was talking about things like nature documentaries and The Apprentice and Hell's Kitchen, Gordon Ramsay stuff, all that sort of thing. And just beautifully tied it together and made a compelling case for understanding how music is used to circumvent thinking, to manipulate you. I think the YouTube video is called How Music... you can't drop links, by the way, on my channel. I've disabled URLs for scams, basically, for crypto scams. But if you know the title of it, just drop it in. It's such a great video. I think everyone should watch it. It's like mandatory viewing. It's such a good thing. I wished I'd seen that before I made my video. So it's a 40-minute video essay about the song that got me hooked on Favorite Band 40 years ago. Weird, this is a song that's about his music manipulating you. Interesting. That's a bit meta. I love the see you, Zedbird. About how music manipulates you. Yeah. If you haven't seen the video, the thing is, the fact of the matter is you all know this. Like, every one of you knows it. Like, you won't watch this little 20-minute YouTube video and go, oh my God, I never knew. But when you watch it, it's like, oh my God, I never knew. Even though you absolutely know how music is used and how it's used to just bypass your critical thinking, indeed to actually tell you how to feel before it even happens. So in honor of his YouTube video, I've forgotten the name of the YouTuber. But it's mentioned in my comment section. And it's about how music manipulates you. Reality TV, if you Google it, you'll find it. Music on reality TV is insanely manipulative by Tanticle. Thank you very much, Canopy. I have named songs called Autosad. So I've actually given myself a button called Autosad in honor of that video, YouTube video. And so I know what it means. I see the word Autosad and go, I need some Autosad. Now I actually do. Scar, I was just served an Autism ABA advert. Holy moly. How? This video does not have ads running. My stream has no ads. Has anyone had ads on this stream? I haven't, like... As for things like Autism, ABA, and whatever, I can't ban them. I have turned off gambling and associated things. I think I've turned alcohol off as well. Yeah, last week I did a test stream and you would have had ads on that because it was just a test stream. It wasn't real. Ad shop since it starts, then no more except on breaks. Hey, interesting. Yeah, that's kind of how it should be. Okay, so you had an ad when it started up, probably. Okay, interesting. I didn't know this. I thought it meant no ads. But then again, if you really don't show any ads, there's no reason for YouTube to show you videos, people, right? Because YouTube is all about the ads. If YouTube could just show you half an hour of ads, they'd love that, wouldn't they? They'd be like, oh my God, yay. I have premium YouTube. And it's amazing because I listen to YouTube all the time. All kinds of random shit. I technically can't give you this piece of consumer advice, but you can pair a VPN with YouTube Premium. And pay in a different currency. Maybe from a developing country. And then it's like super cheap. I probably shouldn't say that. But there we go. I get annoying ABA light ads when I watch the replay. Yeah, for a local place. Interesting. Beef. Yes, you can, meaning they got wise to the VPN thing. Oh, did they? Okay. I think I might still be paying in a currency I can't pronounce. I just got sucked into Pianovelli. Is that right? YouTube rabbit hole. Pianovelli. I've listened to maybe 30, 40 of his Bud Pod comedy sort of weekly podcasts, and they're honestly hilarious. They're really, really good. He was doing it with Phil Wang for a while, a Malaysian British comedian who, like me, is half British and half Malaysian. Although he looks like way more Chinese than I do for some reason. But yeah, we're both British Malaysian. Brony mentioned ABA at Tax Future Ads. Technically, the way it works is it's entirely down to the client. So I think you are possibly more likely to get an ABA ad if you watch my content, because it will go, oh, autism, ABA is keyword, show them the ad. So like it's not to do with me or what I'm making a video about, it's to do with you and what Google knows about you. But if Google knows that you might be autistic, and Google knows, Hell, Google got me, did me a right one. I find it hilarious. My favorite YouTube comments. Can I tell you what my favorite YouTube troll comments are? Can I tell you what my it's actually Red Gen, that is true. I did look more Chinese in my younger pictures, which means that I'm slowly becoming more white as I age. Okay. Sorry for the terrible joke. Watching the ads funnels money away from ABA though. That's like literally like S tier thinking from Sam there. It's like, yes, it does. How do we make this work? Autists assemble to your stations. I'm looking at that cake thinking, I hella want to eat that. But just little spider. I don't even think the little spider touched the cake, by the way. I don't think it got anywhere near it. I think it was on there, little tiny little web, the tiniest baby spider on day one of its ill life, and I put it in front of the fan, and now it's like it effectively flew like 3 kilometers. And it's somewhere else. It's somewhere. It's on the wall or something. It'll still be in this room. We need a 200 corner room to assemble. Basically a circle. A wall of autistic superpowers with like a mirror in the middle. That's galaxy brain shit. Yeah, it is. It's literally like Megamind. If any of you ever watch, there is a YouTuber that I like. I wouldn't go as far as say comfort YouTuber, but I'll watch them every now and again. Called the Cynical. No, it's not Cynical Brett, obviously. Bless him. It's I have forgotten the name of his channel because my brain is full of holes. The spiders have eaten my brain. I don't know. I can tell you what has eaten my brain. Do you want to know what's eaten my brain? In the last 3-4 days, I've watched 2 episodes of Love is Blind, 7 or 8 episodes of Love on the Spectrum. I've watched an entire episode of the Logan Paul podcast. And this is what I look like afterwards. I feel like I've been subjected to indoctrination with matchsticks over my eyes for research purposes. And I still haven't completed my ABA training because I'm 3/4 through. And I wished I'd never embarked on it. So I thought Love on the Spectrum video was only going to be memes. How can you even listen to Logan Paul? No, listen, Abby and David and Christine went onto the Logan Paul Impulsive podcast. If you watch my video if you heard self-torture, but that's ridiculous. But yeah, well, quite. I mean, when I hear 35 hours a week of ABA, in fact, if we just look for a fucking second here, can I be so bold as to ask everybody to just listen to a single point I want to make, and then we can get back to our plushies and tea. It's just this one tiny little point. I only want to broadcast a tiny bit. I just want to say this one thing. Subjecting anybody to 35 hours a week of something, the equivalent of a full-time job, something that can tire out the most ardent neurotypical person, adult, right? 35 hours. If I did 35 hours of dive training in a week, I don't know if that would be possible. I don't know that would be physically possible, as in like physiologically possible. If I did like 10 hours of dive training in a week over the course of like 2 days, 3 days, that's fucking heavy going, and I'd be enjoying it. I would enjoy it, but also it'd be like, it'd be quite masochistic. I'd be exhausted for literally exhausted afterwards. Like just actually like sleep in the car for like 6 hours, kind of exhausted. What? 35 hours a week of ABA for children, even if it's play-based, is fucking insane. Like 35 hours a week, right, of ABA, and it's not that unusual, 35 hours, by the way. 35 hours of ABA therapy. It doesn't matter that it's ABA. 35 hours a week of Xbox, of 35 hours a week of anything. 35 hours a week of indulging your special interests. 35 hours a week of 35 hours a week. That's 35 billioning hours, by the way. So obviously, you know, break for lunch, dinner, whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's actually more than 35 hours in terms of total time. Hi, Chinooka. For some, it's on top of school. For a lot, it's actually part of homeschooling, and it's kind of like blended in with homeschooling. It's kind of hard to tell where the schooling and it sort of ends and where the ABA sort of starts. It's all kind of part of the same package for a lot of parents do it like that. 35 hours of Discord is kind of different, but like 35 hours. Have I slept for 35 hours this week? 35 hours a week is a full-time job. It's a teeny bit shorter than a full-time job, but it's a full-time fucking job. And a lot of children, by the way, get 35 hours of ABA a week and have to commute to that 35 hours. It's not done in their homes, not always. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. Not everyone is privileged enough to have a guest house that they can staff effectively. I just thought I'd drop that in there. I just thought I'd mention it. Can I mention something else? Oh, go on then. I'll mention it. Connor mentioned in his interview that he had foot surgery for tiptoe walking when he was a child. When I showed my video to Nina, I don't like anyone seeing my video until I've published it. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like it's all private. And then when I showed my video to Nina, she immediately caught on to that moment from the podcast Talk to Me Sis, where Connor's mum said to Connor, do you remember when you were a boy and you used to walk on your tiptoes? Oh, and you had foot surgery. You had, surgery on your feet, and it sort of cuts away quite quickly at that point, or at least they change the subject. Well, Nina was like, what the hell? And Nina works in that arena professionally. It's why you don't see her on the show so much. In fact, this is actually why you don't really see the Tea Fairy. The reason you don't see the Tea Fairy is Tea Fairy works professionally in this arena and can't be involved. She contractually can't be involved. Well, in the past, some parents, in order to assist their children with walking, not on their toes, not tiptoe walking. Tiptoe walking is something that I did. I still do. Would essentially, I am now going to paraphrase something that I don't fully understand. But they basically have their Achilles tendons cut. They have tendons cut and things, so that they cannot toe walk. The problem is, down the line as adults, they then end up starting to walk with the feet bent inwards and they're walking on the edges of their feet. Surgery for tiptoe walking is something Nina has seen a lot of. And that's what she reacted to quite strongly in my video when I showed it to her. I didn't react at all because I didn't. Do you know what? It didn't even register me. I didn't even when I'm editing it and I'm reading it, it never made, what's the word? It never red flagged for me. So yeah, that's something that I'm definitely going to mention. I'm certainly going to look into. So there is that. I thought I'd throw it out there into the ether. I know it's dangerous to throw out preformed thoughts, but it's not a preformed thought. It's just, So, and I'm not saying that is what Connor had, but did Connor have that? I'm not going to talk about medical issues with other third parties on my platform. I know I'm walking out onto the edge of a branch here. I know I'm extending to the very edge of ethics here and talking about a private individual's medical, surgical. You know what I'm trying to say? But speaking more generally, this is a thing that has been done to a lot of people. Okay. And now, so at the time, what happens is it was quite a popular surgery for a while. And by the way, when I say this, quite a popular surgery for a while, I'm talking like in the UK and the Isle of Man, where it's illegal to declaw cats, where we have surgical procedures that are done in places like in the US, no shade meant, but like we have a lot of more protection over what is an ethical procedure or not compared to, say, the United States. No offense meant here. This is not like I was just saying, don't American number one, etc. Blah, blah, blah. It's not like that, right? What I'm trying to say is like the fact it got through like a European style sort of ethics approval for autistic people, particularly those with very high support needs, is super worrying for me. It's super weird. So the net result is we now have very high support needs, mostly intellectually disabled, learning disabilities, folks who have bent in feet because they don't. So there's surgery for that. There is surgery for that. And it has been done to cohorts of people. That's all I wanted to say. Those two things. And without any music. I did not realize toe walking was a. I didn't realize toe walking was a. I didn't realize toe walking was such a pathological thing. 21 Kittens Art Studio. You can watch one of my videos about that foot wrapping that happened to my grandmother. Yep. As an American, I confirm people would apply surgery as an option if anything makes your view different. I get that, Barry. That's a whole other kettle of fish, but I get it. But what I'm trying to say is that shouldn't happen in the UK. It is a mutilation. Yeah. But you could argue that for a period it was done. And Connor is young now, kind of. Well, he's younger than me. Everyone younger than me is a baby. No offense. I guarantee you'll all feel like that if you're younger than 40. But you'll hit 40 and be like, everyone younger than you is a child. Okay, so don't take offense, please. Toe walking can make your back leg muscles quite tight. It can get yeah, totally. I don't want to I get enough sexualized comments literally about me, weirdly, online. It's bizarre. FYI, my entire life, no one ever makes sexual comments to me. I am not the recipient of sexual. Look at this face. I'm not the recipient of like sexual comments, but now I get them, and it's kind of weird. So, but my calves. I've got really impressive calves. I've got really big calves, right? Like I've got calves that if I'm like riding a bicycle, like I'm basically just like trying not to rub my calves on the frame. I have calves that are like massive because I toe walk too. Okay, and yes, I'm sure there are issues with it, but I'm sure that but there's more issues with the. Oh. Yeah. Anyway, so all I wanted to do with that thought, okay, is I just wanted to throw it out there to the wider community. I wanted to throw it out there to the wider community that yes, surgical intervention for autistic and learning disability / intellectual disability. Portions, they are 100%. I'm just built like a pyramid in a weird kind of way. Like it's like I just wanted to throw it out there. I didn't want to dwell on it, but the purpose of this is I just wanted it to be well known. I mean, it is a practice. It's a thing. You know, there's all kinds of care guidance and things. The Clark shop, yeah, Clark shop was a feature of my childhood as well. Don't know if anyone else remembers Clark's or not. Like pretty much the only sort of British kind of shoe shop kind of place where you would actually have your feet. They'd put your feet in these like little foot things and go, yeah, we've got nothing. Anyway, you know, and I don't really want to make I do want to make an ethical commentary about this. I'll be lying if I said I didn't. But I want to get all of my, how is it said? Ducks in a row first. We need to see a cat now to self-regulate after that surgery exists. Well, I don't know that it's done now. And I am intrigued as to whether or not Connor has had this surgery. Okay. And Matsukaze, it's one of those ones where the surgery probably cures the issue in the short term. The surgery, well, now you don't toe walk. Do you know why you don't toe walk? Because the ligaments have been cut and you no longer can toe walk. Isn't that better? Right. So there's that kind of thing. But it's almost like the unknown unknown. The unknown unknown is what the fuck happens in 10 years as this body changes, as this person grows. Right. So on the Logan Paul podcast, it was Abby and David, which is Abby's boyfriend forever. I've got to say, actually, I do kind of like Abby's song, Boyfriend Forever. I do think that's kind of sweet. You're the milk to my Chardonnay. I think it's a banger line. I think it's quite funny. But yeah, they were on this thing at the Logan Paul podcast, and you can watch it. You can watch excerpts from it on my video that I posted up yesterday called WTF on the Spectrum. Yeah. Fluffy face in the camera can be arranged. The door is closed because Tifo closed it on the way out. Oh, there's one behind me. There's one. That's Polly right here. She's a very small cat. Very small cat. She's very small. And what I was trying to say, yeah. So she was. So Abby and David were on the podcast, but obviously they needed a neurotypical chaperone with them to say things like, oh.
Neurodeficit, and you were neurodifferent. Neurodeficit, and you were neurodifferent. Neurodeficit, and you were neurodifferent.
Buy some hats. Follow me on TikTok.
Neurodeficit,
Buy some hats. Follow me on TikTok.
and you were neurodifferent.
Buy some hats. Follow me on TikTok. Give me your money. There we go. We're now done. That's basically what happened on the podcast. I thought Abby did really, really well, though, because Logan Paul obviously is, and I think it's fair to say this, a questionable man. Logan Paul is a man of questionable moral virtue. And I'm not trying to be like pearl clutching here. The guy became famous by filming people that have unalived themselves in a forest. and turning it into sensational online content. That was his claim to fame and the fallout from that. That's the sort of person we're talking about, by the way. And Logan Paul has made his name. There was a whole load of, more recently with the crypto scams. Feel free to look into that. There's a YouTuber called CoffeeZilla that's done some fantastic expose on the whole Logan Paul crypto scam, Crypto Zoo. So they're my two bookends. This is what I present to you in my case for Logan Paul is not a nice person. And you can just fill in the middle all you like. Okay? So that's Logan Paul. And she appeared on his podcast. And so Logan Paul is all about money and fame and appearing to be, masculine or whatever. I think Logan Paul is one of the least masculine people I think I've ever seen on the internet. But so she appeared on his podcast and he's immediately all about the money. And I actually liked the way Abby handled him really, really well. I thought she did great. A couple of moments like... So Logan Paul tries to fish for tragic backstory. I know what Logan Paul's doing. I think everyone else knows what Logan Paul's doing. In fact, Christine's quite happy for Logan Paul to do his thing. Which is a bit weird because I thought Christine would want to jump in there and sort of defend her daughter's honor kind of thing. But no. Maybe she did. It wasn't shown in the edit. I don't know. But Logan Paul was kind of pushing for a tragic backstory. Christine's quite happy to talk about when Abby was a baby, Stephanie, please watch my video. I explain why. In fact, that's the reason why my video took so bloody long to make, because simply put, the reason why is Abby is now the goose that lays the golden eggs. And this is a really, really weird example to use. And I have to be careful what I say, not with respect to love on the spectrum and its cast and families, but actually with respect to human nature and the wider autism community, and the fact that there's different types of, the autism mom thing, there's different types of autism mom. And for some people who have high support needs, the highest support needs, some of the people that people say have profound autism, severe autism, it's autism, when actually they live in residential care, residential support services and so on. Where do you think people's money gets paid to in benefits? It gets paid to the families. It doesn't get paid to the people in those facilities. The fact of the matter is that Christine and Nikki and Connor's mom, his name I forget, the new kind of like Kris Jenners of the world, the social media managers, the new Disney child actor parent, that thing, the family role of I do nothing except manage my child's fame and success and collect all of the coins and golden stars. That exists on a much smaller level in a much darker place with respect to a lot of families that have people in supported services. Disabled people often find themselves suffering and often find themselves sort of depleted of any sort of resources. And look beyond Netflix, guys. I'm talking about like hundreds of thousands of people here, millions of people possibly. It is a massive issue. It's a massive scandal, and it will break at some point. When you have a vulnerable adult, you have a non-vulnerable caretaker of that vulnerable adult. Where do you think the money goes? That's the difficulty. The irony is when when this is conflated. That's Polly wanting out, by the way. I don't know if you heard her meowing. See you later. Yeah, Sam. And hello, Yannicka. Welcome. Yeah, I suppose this is kind of like stuff no one really talks about because no one ever sees it. But it gets pretty dark. It gets really, really dark. When you have people that aren't necessarily they're not famous, they were born, when I say visibly disabled, and end up being institutionalized. And speaking of Britain, particularly, their benefit payments go somewhere. Some relatively high benefit payments. Yeah. And so this, what you're seeing from the Netflix moms now is a grander scale version of that. It's not just child star pushy parent stage. It can be forgotten, abandoned child pushy parent. So it's like the pushy parent bit, the autism mom thing, that exists. That transcends everywhere. It transcends country, socioeconomic class. It transcends everything. In the USA, you cannot receive payments for people living in institutions, and that's a law we need in the British Isles as well. Okay. So I am. I find myself in a weird position because of what happened with my mother earlier this year. And my mum now has been deemed to have no capacity, and I administer her affairs along with my father, and it's just weird. Like, she can't go and do anything now because she has no. Yes, she has opinions and thoughts and stuff, but no ability to act on anything. Very, very strange. I would just go out and buy stuff, but she can't buy stuff with her own money because if she ever did, she'd need receipts and she'd then need to prove that it's just a nightmare. So for all intents and purposes, she has nothing. From her perspective, it's bizarre. It's bizarre how these systems affect how families make decisions. But looking more towards the stuff that's going on with the Castrum Love on the Spectrum, I would hope, I would hope that the parents have an account for their kids and they put advertising revenue, any appearances revenue, anything like that that's earned, any sort of licensing, any sort of merch deals, whatever, sponsorships, that all of that money, whatever, goes into an account for them that they then leave in there and don't dip into. I would hope that's the case. Becca's flying rainbow. I don't know why, but I feel like minimal empathy and emotion. Is that like an autism symptom? Is this an off-topic question? I'm happy to go with it if you want. It's not a problem. We can do it. My dad was just starting to get that level of cognitive confidence past. It's surreal to watch the progression. Now my heart goes out to you, mate. I appreciate that. Thank you. And I'm sorry. It's, oh man, none of this is fun. And it's not even cognitive stuff. I mean, my mum was damaged in hospital and it was a fight to get her home. But then the hospital made some requirements that basically meant that we couldn't. The hospital said we had to have 2 staff on permanent standby for her at all times, 24/7. And obviously, who can afford that? like Tanner's mum, maybe. But like, who can afford that, right? That sucks. And it's just the system. And it's like, hell, we were managing. actually great. Like, managing is great. And it's weird to have social services kind of like rifling through your lives. It's a weird experience. It's very strange. It's surreal. It's very strange. It's like you have a family member that you care for and love and look after, and then social services would, you know, go rifling through all of your stuff, all your bank statements, everything. They like just doing everything, you know, the usual sort of like police record checks, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, well, no one gave a shit yesterday, and all of a sudden everyone wants to make sure that everything is safe for her to be discharged from hospital. You know, it's like, well, everything's safe, but now you need to spend, you know, like 50 grand a month or something. It's like, what? Fucking hell. State system. So yeah, it's really difficult. It's probably challenging. My sense of right, wrong, and justice is so inflamed. Yeah. Part of my issue is, sense of right and wrong and injustice. Yeah. You have to kind of manage that. How do I best explain it? I'm currently waiting for the medical registration details of some of the doctors that fucked up my mum's medication. I'm entitled to it. I'm going to be given it, but there are delays. No one's giving me the stuff. It's a bit like the Epstein client list. It's like no one wants to give me the GMC number of the doctor that was responsible for fucking up mum's medication, despite being told not to fuck it up by other doctors, and fucked it up anyway. Like out of spite sort of thing. It's weird. It's proper malpractice. And I just want to file the report, you know? But it's like something like that can be all encompassing. Something like that can be like, I could go down a rabbit hole and get so angry about that. I could get so fucking fuming about it. But what I'm doing is I was fuming about it. I'm still waiting for the report, which is actually overdue. You guys have just reminded me to chase it. I'll chase it in the morning. Okay. So here's the thing. It's like a project I have on the back burner. It's like a video idea that I'm just working on every now and again. But yeah, Nikki, I'm sorry. My heart goes out to you. It's completely having a legal power of attorney over a parent, which I have, is this weird experience. Really strange. And my advice to you is, particularly when you're confronted with such injustice, and it's in an area where you can almost play the "now I've got you, you son of a bitch" game. Please see my earlier content on games people play for reference and details. I can play the oh shit, taxidermy show and tell. Fuck, I forgot all about that. We can do taxidermy show and tell. Can you remind me and we'll take a break in a minute and then we'll do it after that, yeah? And what I'm trying to say to you is, how do you calm down your anger when you can't do anything about it at the moment? I can though. I can. Because I need to chase this, because this has gone quiet. You guys have just reminded me. So, time to segue to my sponsor, Notion. Notion helps me, blah, 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 blah. It's actually true. Not that I have a sponsor. I get offered sponsorships all the time, but I don't take them. I can't. I've got too much on my plate to like get approval for my videos from some third party corporate thing. I've got a very detailed list now of all events, all timelines. I've got databases. I will redact it and show people how to do it. This being the case, how shall I proceed? Maggie Moon has got it. And it's like, I will proceed and I will do this. I will push this now for 10 minutes. I will push this hard for 15 minutes. And that is literally how I do it. I will show you all at some point how I use second brain stuff. And I get asked about it a lot. And the reason I don't want to do productivity YouTube, mostly because I think that entire genre is trash. I don't think it works for autistic people or neurodivergent people. I also think it's completely fucking toxic. The whole idea that people can just work harder and then that kind of, you can solve things. You can solve things by working harder at them is false. I'm not saying I don't work hard, but like, fucking hell. African women should be billionaires. Like, if we go by, what about carers? We're talking about carers. Carers should be fucking multimillionaires if they're rewarded for how hard they work and how much stress they go through. Nurses, teachers, all of that shit. God damn it. I have content to make on all of this. This video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Do you know what? I probably would do a Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship only because it's fucking postmodern humor at this point. It's hilarious. But I have a weird... you're sort of forced into doing hard and weird things, then processing them later. Nikki, you know. Yep, you've been here before, haven't you? Yeah, that's exactly how it is. You basically just get forced into disassociation. List J, when do we get to see that list of all your video ideas? I posted a couple of screenshots in Discord literally yesterday. But yeah, I'm going to go through it actually, because I think it'll be useful. I think, well, number A, it's like pre-made content in a weird kind of way. But also I think it's like a useful way of showing like how I work. It might help some of you. I have found videos on YouTube, like random weird ones from people that do journaling, tried it, doesn't work for me. I found people that do all kinds of like post-it things, tried it, doesn't work for me. I've tried people that do like timer stuff on their phones and it's like, tried it, doesn't work for me. But like I have like seen quite a lot of stuff and I feel like by chucking something else out there that people can try, it might work for some people, it might not work for some people, that's fine. And at some point I'll get a fucking sex toy sponsor or something. My philosophy, by the way, because some of you are a bit concerned, is just I have to please my dopamine centers. Otherwise this whole YouTube channel doesn't work. And I do that. Just work with me on it, okay? Everything will be fine as long as the monkey gets his dues. Romanian peasant understands. Everything will be okay. This channel will be great, and the community will be. Trust me, I'm here for you guys, but only as long as the monkey gets his dues. Meaning, there's a procrastination monkey in my brain, and it's not really a procrastination monkey. It is a procrastination monkey, but if I allow him to just break things and cause chaos. Just look, people that have been here for like over a year, you understand. Because you've seen it. You've seen the results of Chaos Monkey. Chaos Monkey is, here, have a cat. Maybe not quite, here, have a cat, but yes, you get the point. Faye, hello, new username. Sorry for, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't do that because people will feel perceived. The only way I get stuff done is by doing less, lots of sleep, reading, crafting, meditation. I understand that as well. Doogie says, feed the monkey or feel the feces flung. Yep. General Laura, I don't remember how long I've been here. Long enough. Chaos Monkey is a very real thing. There's a TED talk on this. It's about procrastination. It's a TED talk, quite an old one. It's actually a really fun little presentation. Highly recommend watching it. Fake Officer So Cozy, thank you. YouTube channel has viewers that my YouTube might so anyway. Sure, I've tried making YouTube before. I've never once had a YouTube channel monetized or grown. Only this channel. Do you know what I mean? Like all of my attempts at YouTube have been like really, really tiny. Like no one's ever watched any of my videos. Mike, when will you do a TED Talk? I've never considered it. I don't know. I guess I probably could. Info dumping on subjects that I'm interested in. If it's a TED Talk on something I'm interested in, yeah, do it. If it's a TED Talk on something like radiator repair, I'm afraid I'm not your guy. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I've got like 3 tricks and I do them over and over again. I'm becoming a mother's caretaker in 2 weeks. Doogie, you got this. You got this. And why? Yeah. So there is this perverse drive in some jurisdictions. The vast majority of people that care and support family members or friends or whatever with everything from personal care and physical tasks through to just helping people with some simple daily living or cooking meals or whatever, do an amazing job, and in the UK massively support the economy because they get bugger all for doing it. There's a tiny little carer's allowance that they get, but it's fucking nothing. I mean, we're talking like, you know, a pot of tea type money. We're not, you know, it's rubbish. And those people save the NHS millions. Yeah. But there is a little sector of society where certain demographics do receive quite a lot of financial support. And that has typically been because people have been advocating really hard and very successfully for those groups. And unfortunately, that financial support doesn't actually necessarily go to the people that it was intended to go to. "18-minute info dump" is amateur numbers. Let's make it a 3-hour info dump. That will sort out, as it was, as they say, the men from the boys. Could you imagine, right? A 3-hour like talk times 10, and you still have another 5 hours to go every week. Could you imagine that? Like, that's what, just the ABA therapy thing again, just the 35 hours a week thing. Nothing to do with the fact it's ABA therapy, just that it's a lot. It's just a lot. And managing your children in such a way that you're kind of exposing them to that. Oh, I should probably add, by the way, for context, because I know a lot of people don't actually watch the damn videos. Hint, watch the videos. Hint, subtext, hint, watch the videos. I know a lot of people don't necessarily watch the videos. Oh, no, Jordan Peterson is excluded from this because Jordan Peterson just says words but doesn't actually mean anything. Jordan Peterson, like, his comment about lobsters and antidepressants, SSRIs, whatever. Okay, that's interesting. That's like one example. Now move on. What else have you got? I've got one. 20% of bees don't follow the crowd. Now what you going to do, Jordan Peterson? We've done the lobster one. That was interesting. Yes. Lobsters are extant cousins, as are every other living creature on the planet, including plants. Now where do we go? Now what? Oh, what do you mean? Sorry, that's bad. I can't do the accent. I'm sorry. What do you mean by Jordan Peterson? What do you mean by bees? And then just get angry. And then just get angry. And then just get angry at the person. And you're just talking about... Yeah. Strawman. Argue. Shout. I'm pretty confident that Jordan Peterson wouldn't shout at anyone if he was in a room with them just having a conversation or a debate that didn't have a camera that his community wouldn't watch. I just dare say that. That's obviously, I think it's possible someone will attack me for that and go, you don't know that. And it's true, I don't. But I have a hunch. That's all. It's just like, I feel like he's just like, all this like anger and stuff that we see from Jordan Peterson. It's all just like weird because it's like, why are you getting at? Like, it's not passion. It's anger. He's getting like really pissed off. Like he did the Kathy Newman interview on Channel 4 and he did great because Kathy Newman was unreasonable and he just pointed it out. Kathy Newman set a trap for him and he managed it well. He did good. He did all right. But yeah, anyway, he needs more than lobsters. Helen, just type Jordan Peterson into, you could just press the letter J onto YouTube probably and you'll get a big rabbit hole. Enjoy. I don't feel like now is a good time to get on the Jordan Peterson bus. I feel like now is quite an argumentative kind of villain arc to sort of like get into Jordan Peterson. If you wanted to be into Jordan Peterson, you needed to do it like 10 years ago. When it was, he was arguing about gender and stuff, that's, you could kind of get involved then. But like now, it's just anger and stuff. It's just like, just anger about words and you're using the wrong words and then he'll use the wrong words. It's like, it's just like, what? It's just a weird kind of game where he has to look really smart by just twisting people's words. It's really funny. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Jordan Peterson does play into the web of some very strange conspiratorial thinking, but in and of itself, I think a lot of it is social media bravado for reaction content, for clips and stuff like that. I do genuinely think that because of all the human beings on the planet, I feel like it's like I try and use my brain to go assume misunderstanding, not malice. But I feel like I could communicate with any human being. Like I feel like anyone could share a piece of information. But Jordan Peterson is the only person on the entire planet. Honestly, I mean, including people like, Putin and President Xi and whatever. Jordan Peterson is the only person on the planet who cannot communicate a piece of information. So, like at all. Like if you said to him, this is a piece of cake, he would say, well, what even is cake? And then you'd be like, okay, I'll bite. A cake is like a sweetened kind of baked good. But what does baked mean? What does baked mean? What does baked mean? And you go, well, look, it means in the context of cake. No, it's talking about in the context of cake. We're talking in the context of language because language matters. And you go, no. You go, would you like would you like this slice of cake? And he'd be like, what I like is, no, it's not about what I like. It's about ego and about Jung and Jungian philosophy and no one understands. We can't just walk around saying cake to everybody. And then you go, okay, right, we'll park that. Can we just pretend we didn't have this conversation and just go, would you like this for you, Mr. Peterson? It got a pretty fork, a pretty kind of thing, this little serving thing. Nina's mother gave us this. I don't even know what this is for, by the way. This particular piece of crockery, it's like a stoneware, type of thing. I don't know. It's not. I don't know the brand or whatever. It's just a stone. It's just some nice, pretty serving dish. I wouldn't put crisps on it. Chips, I think some of you would call it, because they'll fall off the edge. But whatever. It's pretty little plate. I don't think we've ever used it for anything. But not to be ungrateful, you know. And you go, would you like? You know, now you're assuming I like cake because you know, yeah, has his birthday cake with Women's Day on it. Don't presume. It's like yes. And it's like, you know, I'd be like, look, Jordan, could I call you Jordan? I say, do people come to you for therapy? Like anger management or anything like that? Like how do you help your clients? How do you help your clients? Like, how I don't understand you. And he'd be like, I'm done with this. I'm just done. There's a very funny little debate. I've only watched a bit of it. It's Jubilee, and I feel bad watching any Jubilee thing since they killed one of my live streams once. Where it was something like, it was a Jubilee format, so it's quite combative, and it's something like one chair in the middle of the room, and then lots of people with countering opinions sitting around you that take time questioning you, and there's a timer. And this one, I think, was called something like 1 Christian versus 10 atheists or something like that. They always do it like that. They even do it with autistic people and neurotypicals. They, you know, it's or left and right wing or whatever. They do it. That's just what they do. It's Jubilee. It's a good format in terms of for engagement. It's quite clickable, right? Anyway, he's like arguing for God, but he doesn't know what he's talking about. He won't even say that he's a Christian. And then somebody says, you know, the title of this video is 1 Christian versus 10 atheists, right? Or something like that. And he'll be like, he'll just twist himself in knots. And it's just hilarious. It's just really, really funny. It's just really, really amusing.
For a little treating for tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Phoenix. That is so sweet of you. I appreciate that very much. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. That's super, super kind. Dave Pizarro, they had to change the title. Did they actually change the title on that one? It's got a really special moment in it where Jordan Peterson says something along the lines of, you know, he's talking down, he's being very condescending to the person he's talking to across the table, and says, you know, I don't want to paraphrase. I need you guys to actually, and says something like, you know, basically Jordan Peterson saying that you're full of shit, and then the other person says, well, you're full of nothing. You don't stand for anything. Like and then he just sort of walks off. It's so funny. I'm so sorry for my rant about Jordan Peterson. I need a 2-minute break for that. I think so. 2 minutes. Ads might play. Yeah, 2 minutes. I need to refill my tea. See? There's a bit of tea in there. 2 minutes, don't go anywhere. 120 seconds. Like, stand up, stretch, pet a cat, make yourself a cup of tea, go to the toilet, treat yourself, have a poo. There's enough time to even wash your hands. If you do take a phone or something upstairs to the bathroom, assuming it's upstairs and you're not already in the bathroom, don't tell the chat. But, you know, you could do. I mean, why not? Here, enjoy this.
Neurodeficit, and you were neurodifferent.
Sorry. Should we do tea and taxidermy after the break?
Neurodeficit, and you were neurodifferent. Neurodeficit, and you were neurodifferent. Neurodeficit, and you were neurodifferent. Neurodeficit, and you were neurodifferent.
I like to touch them.
And you were neurodifferent.
Sorry, everyone. It's just a good vibe, right? Okay. Right. Folks are back. How was your toilet break? 20% of you disappeared and then came back. I don't know if it's the same 20%, but, you know, it seems coincidental. My feet are tapping in spite of the music being wrong. What do you mean? As in, like, the wrong genre? I have other genres.
And you were neurodifferent.
Oh, no, not that one. I mean, this is the same genre. This is just porno track 2, I think. I like this one. Right, I'll be right back. Oh, hang on, I need to check the poll. Authentic. I showed you some water and had to clean it up. You mean you got to clean it up, or you had? I'm trying to growth mindset this. Oh, nice cookie cinnamon, nice. Amber Compton, trying to make my garage escape into paying endeavour, but requires a lot more executive function now at the minute. Amber. Here we go. Look, I made my video 100, went for a snorkel, yes. I filmed that literally 4 weeks ago and the wetsuit is still hanging up outside. I haven't put it away yet. Don't think that everything is like on point over here, because it isn't. I need to go and actually tidy away. I did wash it, but it's probably full of spiders now.
Neurodeficit. Neurodeficit, and you were neurodifferent.
40 votes? Is 40 votes actually statistically reliable? 80% of you voted for tea and taxidermy. You want to meet Maurice? Our longest, I was going to say lived. Pet. Long lived in the same way that an Egyptian mummy is very old. I'm just surprised that people didn't vote. Yeah, we should do it again. New poll. It's called Everybody Vote. Yes or no? So, you're voting for tea and taxidermy. I explain it because I haven't been on like a year or two. Well, I mean, effectively, show and tell of our oldest pet.
Neurodeficit, and you were neurodifferent. Neurodeficit, and you were neurodifferent. Neurodeficit, and you were neurodifferent.
When have I ever trolled Tall Hobbit Stitches?
Neurodeficit,
The question is tea and taxidermy.
and you were neurodifferent.
Why is the music terrible? Would you prefer more sort of sultry tones? You lot. What would be the good taxidermy music choice? Do you know what? I'm actually thinking that based on our conversations from earlier. Can't over to in the Discord. I was just doing a little. We can do golden things. I'll just put it on not too loud, and I'm not going to mess with it. Okay. Okay. Oh, see you, Amber. Sorry. You're going to miss tea and taxidermy. You can watch the replay later if you like. Okay. Is everybody good? Isabella M. M for music. Right. Is your parrot a strong independent woman? I'm actually not sure. I don't actually know all of the details. Right, okay, ready? The poll it's got the same result. It's got a few more votes. Still not everybody. I mean, I would say less than half the people here have voted. That's still poor, but again, it's like 4 to 4. I'd like to know why 18% of people don't want tea and taxidermy. Last poll was just identifying us BDA, says Pardalot. Pardalot, you might want to look away for this little mini segment because, well, What if the yes people were the PTA people all along? This is Maurice. Maurice's cage was vacuumed out last week because that's when we were going to do the tea and taxidermy, but we never did. So a couple of spiders or whatever. Maybe this is where baby spider came from. Who knows? But anyway, Maurice is a Victorian era parrot. We only have some information from the ring on his leg. I can probably post the ring on Discord maybe. You guys want to go hunting for info. Saber has eaten one of his toes. So I'm sorry. One of his toes is missing. Saber ate it. But Sabre ate it pretty early on. Sabre was like, "What is that? I'm having it." Literally leapt up and attacked Maurice and literally swallowed a toe. I was trying to pull it out of his mouth, but didn't get it in time, and he literally swallowed it. So he's not getting that back. Maurice still has some color, which is quite. Oops. Yeah, ancient burb jerky. In fact, this is it's 100 plus years. 100 plus years. More than that. There's, I think, 140. I'm not sure. Like, you're trying to get a new toe for himself. Yeah. Saber might be trying to rebuild that poor one animal piece at a time. Beautiful plumage. So what happened was Nina and my son and I were laughing at bad taxidermy on the internet. You can find bad taxidermy examples on the internet, and I hate to say it, but some of them are really, really amusing. Just it's an acquired taste, and Nina thought it would be very funny to buy some, and bought Maurice. I think from eBay. I'm not sure. Maurice arrived in a shoebox with a letter giving some background information. Anik, welcome. This is a dead bird. Oh, I just got off another stream. Why would you be... Did the other stream have dead birds? Anik? Did the other stream have dead birds? I bet it didn't. Pardalo. Can be like the fox sitting on like a eating a wee. I don't even know what that is, but yeah, it's still making me laugh. Just we used to get bad things to see Monty Python references. This is just prime for Monty Python references. It's just made. So parrots usually have happy little smiles. I'm not entirely sure. This guy died. This guy died before the Great War. I'm afraid. This guy died before all of the events of the 20th century. So, burb from the past. Lots happened. You missed out on a lot of events, big global events. Did you know that autism didn't exist when Maurice was flying around? Did you know that? Did you know? When Maurice was flying wherever Maurice flew, no such thing as autism. No such thing. Ergo, that wasn't a fart, that was my chair. Ergo, you all made it up. When Maurice was alive, there was no autism. And now... quite a lot's changed. Maurice has missed out on a lot of world history. Heath Alexander. Shaking my head. I just realised this is taxidermy and tea. And the bird's dead. That means Saber ate a dead bird toe. Yes. Yes. I thought I was I thought I was very clear on that point. Not just a dead bird toe, but an ancient dead bird toe. A Victorian dead bird toe. Someone notify RFK. RFK only eats recently dead things, Lissa. Like stuff that's died in the last couple of weeks and is on the floor in the heat. You're holding the cause of autism. Patient zero. Somewhere someone has a bat in a cage for COVID, and it will come out on a live stream in 1,000 years. And I am holding the patient zero of autism. Autism never existed when Maurice was alive. Ronnie would like a bite of Maurice, I guarantee it. Yeah, the cats understand the whole. Oh, it's a bird. Might be dead. Might be mummified. I don't care. It's a bird. Mike's correct. What caused autism? Well, 100 years ago, Maurice died, and then autism appeared. Thus, Maurice's death caused autism. Yes, indeed. Dead Bird Toe is the band behind my. That is a good name for a band as well. More names for bands than bands More names for bands than there are actual bands, I think. See, Ronnie's 4 Candles versus Python Dead Parrot Sketch. Oh, Python Dead Parrot Sketch. But the 4 Candles is very good. Second, only, I'd say the runner-up there would be Only Fools and Horses with the broom. One of the main characters, who's a street sweeper, gets an award for having like this oldest broom. And he's only replaced the broom head like 12 times and the broom handle 10 times. It's not the same broom, right? It's an interesting bit of philosophy there. There is a strange sound when I rotate this. I can possibly get Maurice out, but this might unleash the ghosts. This could be complicated. I don't trust my dexterity with this. This is not good. I don't know if this bit should be on the camera or not, because it could go bad. Can I unlatch the top somehow? I don't know. All this shit is all Nina T Fairy's doing. Oh, I can take out the top. Right. That I didn't realise I could open the top. There we go. Let's make this slightly more interesting for people that are just tuning in.
Neurodeficit.
You guys don't deserve me. be honest with you. I don't think I'm appreciated enough. I don't. I'm just reading the chat. That's nuts. Maurice is more like 140 plus Anik. Maurice is 1800s. Thomas Gallagher. Well, a bird that died long before your great-great-great-grandparents was just twerking to what I can only describe as autistic mustachioed pornography music. I don't know how. I don't know to say. I don't know how you would describe it. I'm going to eat this cake now. Wow, that's an old bird. Yeah. No, sex Plushy. You do not get this kind of quality of content from other YouTubers. Hussam, it is birthday cake. It's my birthday in like, I don't know, a few hours. Right, so there may or may not be, there probably is. There may or may not be, there probably is. There might be, there probably is, a secret, probably, but on YouTube, probably. Live stream, probably. Celebrating the birthday, probably, of 8 kittens tomorrow. Probably. Yeah. There's no one tiny spider in there. The tiny spider is gone. If anybody wants to buy this cake, you can get it in Marks and Spencer. Other brands are available, but yeah, it's Marks and Spencer Plant Kitchen sponge cake. You guys kind of have to get your own. So, kind of tomorrow, there'll be a kitten birthday. Okay, one more thing. Believe it or not. Okay. Health issues trigger warning. So tomorrow, please don't freak out, people. Please don't freak out. I'm going to quickly put Maurice away before I forget, and I will forget, and Maurice will get destroyed. For the second time. Second and a half time. Maurice, you are kind of safe in this cage, but only if the cage is hanging up. So I'm gonna take Maurice and pop him somewhere. I can give you an entire music video from this channel. Yeah, you guys totally should catch up on the lore, the channel lore. The channel has an awful lot of channel lore. You should totally catch up on it. Okay, here's the deal. Genuine content warning now. genuine content warning. So, I try to be as private as I possibly can on my channel. You know, I say as I possibly can. I do share an awful lot of myself with you guys, and obviously, you know, many of us have become really good friends actually as a direct result of this channel and the community here. And I have no idea how the community here grew. I couldn't possibly tell you, because I'm making videos on the internet, and that's not dissimilar to other people making videos on the internet. So I don't know why there is such an amazing community here. No shade on anyone. There's no other creator in my mind. There's no other community in my mind. But I'm just trying to say, like, unlike anywhere, like what the hell? No, lore as in L-O-R-E. There's definitely a lot of channel lore. But I'll tell you something. So tomorrow, Nina has a surgical appointment. It's not actually a surgical appointment in terms of surgery, but it's like a pre-surgical appointment. We recently found a very large kind of fast-growing lump that hopefully tomorrow we will have a conversation about having removed. But yeah, it's like scary shit. So tomorrow, that is kind of the plan. So it coincidentally on my birthday, but that's irrelevant really. It's just, not going to turn that down. But yeah, that's kind of like real life, right? So there will be a stream. That's our plan. So the plan is to do a stream, but I can't sort of sit down with you guys and say, hey, it's going to be like insert time here with thumbnail with stuff. So do you know what I mean? So the plan is just kind of business as normal, but there you go. Some of you already knew this, obviously. Autistic Cat's part in the after party last week, I kind of told the whole story to. But for a few more of you, that's kind of the shit. And when I say life kind of gives you scars as you go through it, I'm not even joking. It really does, literally as well as figuratively. And it's a big anxiety, stress in a million different ways. It's not YouTube content, it's just life. So, some stuff in life is amazing, some stuff really fucking sucks. Just, and not everything goes to, immediately to plan. That's it. So yeah, we'll find out tomorrow. We find out tomorrow. It's not a small lump. Yeah, this isn't fluid. No, this is a lumpy lump. About the size of a boiled egg. We were joking in the after party last week. Nina's decided to name it Colin. No apologies to any Collins out there. Before Colin enters channel lore. So, we've kind of known for about a month or so now. And hopefully it isn't super serious, but it is going to require surgery. That's the obvious step. There is no path that doesn't mean surgery in the very short term. So, praise science, etc. And probabilistically it'll probably be okay. But holy shit. So yeah, I empathize, and thank you to those of you who knew, who have sort of, you know, some words of encouragement, or whatever, or links to resources. Appreciate it all. Yeah. So yeah, it was cathartic, I would say, actually. Talking about last week, and Nina's not the only one in the community that's going through this same sort of thing. Currently, as well as, you know, historically, obviously. And these kind of like scary things kind of do become a thing, right? And, you know, yeah, hoping for benign Colin, but either way, Colin's gone. You know, I've done my fair share of sleepless nights, and you know, the anxiety is kind of crippling. It's going to easy to go out. I got 2 semicolons. So yeah, we had sort of, I don't want to say fun, but like, you know, it can be cathartic. It's a good thing sometimes to talk about, and it's also kind of real life, and it's also why this stream just isn't really planned, isn't really a thing. I make no apologies for that. And tomorrow, there will be a stream. It's not going to be like surprise, but I'm pretty confident that there will be a stream. I am not going to say to you now what time that stream is going to be. I can give you a hint. It ain't going to be UK time morning. It ain't going to be UK time lunchtime. It ain't going to be UK time afternoon. It might be a UK time tea time, sort of late afternoon / early evening, or it might be UK time late evening or mid evening to late evening. Hopefully, it's got good news, and if it's not got good news, then I'm just gonna try and play some games or whatever. Unplanned equals taxidermy bird token. I'd call that a win. Yeah. Yeah, me too. Me too. Protect your family, missing stock. I think part of the issue is that I can't. I think part of the issue is part of the issue that causes, just for me, extreme anxiety is that I can't. There's nothing I can do. So my, for better or worse, I've got many fucking stories, which makes being a YouTuber, particularly an quote unquote older YouTuber, kind of easy in a way, because I've got so many fucking stories. Like, all I do is I filter in my brain stories against whether or not I have permission to share. And that filters a great many stories into an ass load of stories. I still have a fuck ton of stories, even without breaching privacy for third parties. And obviously Nina has given me permission to share this. It was her suggestion, in fact. So yeah. And the other weird thing, and you're all amazingly supportive and kind, by the way. I'm reading all your messages. I just can't sort of read them out because they're coming in so fast in order to then give you a reply. I'd have to speak at like 500 words per minute in order to read all your messages and reply to you all, but I'm reading them all. And then I think about them. And then that's why I have to look away from the chat to actually think about what I want to say. And in terms of, oh shit, Apadlo, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring anything up. I tried genuinely to content warn what I was saying, and I hope I've found it alleviating. Nina has some inappropriate humor about everything, and that is also good. And I want to give you guys a bit of an insight into the meta behind this. Authentic. You did. You might want to rewind. Rewind to 10 minutes. So the meta part of this is obviously the fact that I'm quote unquote doing YouTube, doing telling stories, whatever, making entertaining content, whatever. There's that sort of side of things. And I think it's easy to kind of like see somebody as not being kind of fully human when you sort of see them on the internet. I was certainly surprised to meet people like Thomas Henley and Quinn and just people that I've seen on screen in 3 dimensions, and then hang out with them and, you know, go to the gym or go for lunch or whatever. It felt surreal for maybe an hour, and then it's like, okay, this is not surreal anymore. Because in that first sort of hour or so, my brain is breaking down the fact that this person is not on my screen and doesn't live in my tablet or on my phone. That they're a real human being. And part of the challenge as well is obviously, you know, it means a lot for me to have a space, be present part of space like this, and provide a service, for want of a better word, on these weekly things. But it does mean, and I don't mean to use the term lightly, but it does mean that you guys see this weird biopsy of my life every week, which I know for the vast majority, I know for nearly all. Actually, I know it for. I can actually probably say this to stop you guys from guessing. All of my content creator friends, all of them, don't do this, and I completely get why they don't. Insofar as the fact that, holy shit. The flip side is you are all unbelievably lovely, and I do not understand how that has happened, because it's not a chicken and an egg thing. It's not a vibe attracting your tribe thing. Those things are things. It's actually that you guys are super lovely first and foremost. And that kind of provides a space for this. So from an organic perspective, I'm happy to talk about it and share. I understand a lot of other people are going through this now, evidenced in the conversation here, as well as previously. And so there is that. And I don't have any more information than you guys do. I have YouTube analytics, but it's like it's not that interesting. It's really, it's, you know. But I don't have any more information or experience or knowledge of any of this than any of you guys do. So I couldn't possibly. I don't think it's that small. To be honest with you, I don't think this space is that small. I think that it has been, but it's not. I used to live stream to like 3 people. Thanks, Isabella. And I made some great friends in this community, and I've seen people in the community making like friends and developing support groups in all kinds of different ways. That's all great. I do not need to be necessarily directly involved in those things, but like, just crack on. You know? And I can watch videos on YouTube to learn how YouTube works, or content about the algorithm or something that confuses me that I don't understand. And I'll see people who look like they know everything saying, be your authentic, be engaging, be authentic, and all this. And it's like, what the fuck? I have no idea what the fuck they're talking about, because I don't know any other way. I know how to mask through neurotypical society reasonably well. I'm not saying I'm accepted by the group. I'm definitely not. But I can survive. I can go, I can, The bigger the city, the better, frankly. But like, you know, sometimes the cats live streamed. Yeah, Padlo, I remember that. That's true. The cats did a stream all on their own for about 7.5 hours. Yep, they did. I thought it'd be good fun to get a stream deck and put buttons on it. And 2 of the buttons, because I didn't have much to do, right? I was new, okay? So what buttons do you put on there? Obviously start stream, stop stream. That made sense. I used to stream a lot. Every day near enough. Start and stop stream made sense. Yeah. Don't do that. I should have learned, because the cats will play songs in the middle of the night on like, we've got an Alexa in the kitchen and cats will lean on it and, you know, because sometimes it will display like play music or whatever. And I prefer that to voice activation and things. I pretty much use them just as smart speakers to play stuff out of. Romanian peasant, you did not need to do that.
Super shattered $5.77.
That is
Cheers.
super kind. Thank you so much. I will. Yeah, this is great. Thank you. I mean, great. I mean, send me money. It's great. But I don't feel that way. I don't want anyone to feel like that. I know I have a Patreon, and you know, Patreon kind of has allowed me to see a future where I can make more content that actually kind of impacts the world in a positive way, as opposed to software, which, I mean, doesn't necessarily. Yeah. And I suppose about the I now use the Stream Deck for all kinds of other things. So I use the Stream Deck to do all kinds of things. It's great. It actually is really good when you start thinking a little bit more meta. You hardly need the stop stream button back then. To be fair, Yannicka, there was a few occasions where the cats pressed the stop stream button. Where young Hydra or whatever would actually go and press like stop stream. Thank you.
Jessica super shattered $10.
You already
Yays.
support me.
Happy birthday, Mike. I hope the news you and 9 receive tomorrow is fantastic. Big hugs.
Oh, thank you so much. You're an amazing member of the community, and thank you so much. And you know, please don't feel like you guys actually do financially make things work by being patrons. If that's something you can do, and by the way, if any of you need to and you want to, you can cancel at any point. There is actually no pressure. This is not a cult, except maybe with the Hydra cult. But like, other than the Hydra cult, like, you guys can take a break, you can come back, you can do like literally, and you don't even need to talk to me about it. I'm not going to get like notified, by the way, if any of you want to like cancel or change your tier. Like, it's not like, oh, so and so has dropped the amount they support you. It's not like that at all. It's like, just literally do whatever you need to do. And I'm not even probably going to. I would notice if you went in the Discord and we were chatting, and but like, that's what I'm trying to say. There's literally zero pressure. Use it as much as you need, and so on. And my plan is to actually build the channel and grow it. But also, I've actually been in a position before where I've had employees and I've had to take out a loan in order to pay them when things got tough. And I've got so much experience and so many stories. And until now, those stories just existed in family law, LORE, as opposed to now, because now I can actually tell you about them and I can show you stuff. And also Patreon's quite good because it gives me an opportunity and a place where I can post stuff that's kind of more personal, perhaps, than on YouTube where anyone could be watching. In the cult of Hydra. only in the cult of Hydra. And like, honestly, like you didn't start the cult. We started the cult, and you can't get rid of so easily. It's just James Quasar. That's hilarious because that's actually true. Thank you all so much. I appreciate it. And where? Hang on, I just need a tiny bit more music. It helps me think. You guys might have noticed that. It's like, right, hang on. And also, I don't think I've said this. I'm not one to post channel update videos really, but thank you all for being so supportive over my decision to not necessarily post on Sundays every week. That was, I was really scared about that. Not necessarily because of like offending any of you or whatever, but just the whole YouTube thing. And YouTube has, by the way, stopped showing my videos so much as a result. And I knew that would happen. That's okay. But it's like, well, it's not okay, it's annoying, but it's like, you know what I mean? It's like expected. But the support and the words of support have been fantastic, and you've all been so great. You do know this.
Miss Pat Van Driver Lady super chatted $9.99. It's Mike's birthday? Well, happy birthday, Mike. Birthday cake emoji. You'll have to give me tips and out being 44 bed I get there in March. Balloon emoji.
Fuck you.
As always, take care, man. Present emoji.
Thank you very much, Miss Pat Van Driver Lady. And you've been here for so long as well. God damn it. Now I feel old. No, thank you. I'll let you know what it's like. I'll give you some sort of light ahead of the way. Yeah. So yeah, thank you all so much. And part of the big thing where you will notice a change for the better. Super chat always makes me laugh. That's nothing to like. I'm sure the developers of the TTS did that on purpose with the accent they used for the robotic lady voice, because you can say super chat, but I feel like they've probably intentionally done it or they don't want to fix it because maybe it's an in joke or something. But it clearly says super chat. Miss Pat Van Driver Lady, yeah. Well, to be fair, between us, there's a whole generational divide, isn't there? I think you and I sit equidistant from the Gen X millennial line. Yeah. I think we both effectively are on that same fence together, but like on the sitting on opposite sides. And the whole generation thing's weird, by the way. Like, Meg, I'm autistic now. What is younger millennial, as in like baby millennial? Technically, I'm the oldest millennial, so we bookend the millennial generation. It feels weird because there's so much has happened in that amount of time. Do you know what I mean? I grew up in the 80s. That's totally different to growing up in the 90s. No offense to anyone or whatever. It's just the vibe is totally different. Maybe the fact I grew up in Germany and the Cold War was still on. Maybe that's kind of... Charlie, fuck off with your elderly millennial shit. Joke. Yeah, Xennials probably makes more sense. Appreciate older autistic creators. All I can say is I can't help my age. I can't help being autistic either, actually. It's an interesting philosophical decision. Like, am I glad I wasn't identified when I was younger? I have this conversation with Quinn quite often, by the way. Because Quinn might be a spoiler for a future collab, actually, because Quinn and I have been talking about it. Because Quinn's unusual in that when he was school age, he actually was identified and diagnosed with autism, as it was back then, which is like super unusual. Really, really unusual. Because no one knows what to do with an autism diagnosis back then. And so, it had some unintended consequences for him. I guess what I would wish, for me, how I processed the grief of my identification and subsequent diagnosis, the way that I processed that was in a couple of stages. And one of them was, I wished I'd have known. And I was really, I grieved for what could have been. But then the flip side of that is actually it's not just that I wished I'd have known that I was autistic. I wished I'd known I was autistic. It's I wished I'd known I was autistic and the world was a much fucking better place. I needed both of those two things at the same time. So I wished I'd known I was autistic my whole life. I wished I'd been picked up. I wished I'd identified. I wished I'd had more support at school. But my understanding actually would have gone such a long way into preventing a lot of negative knock-on effects. But that has to be blended with my environment. So, and I've got no control over my environment. I've got no control over where I was born, to whom, where, all of this sort of stuff. You've got no control over that. This is like a character creation sheet made by a flipping chaos goblin. Someone else did it. Your spawn point is completely at random. It was, you can get religious on me if you like. That's fine. It's totally okay. Spiritual, that's okay. What I'm trying to say is, you did not write your character sheet. You did not choose when and where to be born, and circumstances and socioeconomic stuff and whatever. You had no control over any of that. And actually, an earlier autism identification for me, I sort of understood as a right. As a child, I was thinking it'd be great. But then again, back in the 1980s, back in the time of institutionalization, heavy use of institutionalization, did I dodge a bullet? If I could have just time traveled, patted myself on the back and said, hey, if I could have just had my back patted and somebody said, hey, Mike, listen, mate, you're okay. There's nothing wrong with you. You're all right. Let me explain something. You're going to find this amazing community, and it ain't going to be for a while, but you are. And there are going to be people from all walks of life, all ages and genders, all beliefs, values, but they all have something in common. Let me tell you about it. It's not a cult. You'll go through that and you'll come out of it. You still won't know, but it isn't them. And then it would be a case of, I feel like that would have been okay. A pep talk would have probably sorted out a lot. A supernatural time traveling Doctor Who-esque pep talk could possibly have really helped. That might have been enough to shore up my inner self, and that could have prevented a lot of problems. That might have been enough. So what am I grieving for? What am I asking for? What am I asking for? What am I praying for? What am I begging the universe to have provided that I did not provide? What am I grieving? I'm grieving a time-traveling Time Lord didn't go into my past to help me out? What am I saying? Show younger Mike your videos. Yeah, I wish. Charlie, I actually still do. I will watch my videos back and sometimes not want to post them. Because most of the time when I'm talking to my younger self. Not that much younger, 30s. Maybe I should do a video to my 10-year-old self. Fuck me, that's a great idea. Holy shit. I think you're gonna make me cry. You're okay and it's not always gonna hurt. Fucking hell. Strange crazy. Yeah. I must have given last time. Literally having easier. Yeah. Ah, you guys are gonna literally make me cry. I would struggle to make that content. It'll probably only be 5 minutes. 5-minute videos don't do well on YouTube. But that's a hell of an idea. I normally make videos addressed kind of to 10 years ago. And I'm not saying my life hasn't sort of worked out. I mean, nothing has ever, for anyone, ever worked out. But it's like, yeah, when you go back and back and back, you can all do this, by the way. You can all maybe not make a video. Maybe make a video. I mean, holy shit. I mean, do it. Send it to me. But just write a letter to yourself. Write a letter to yourself. You can burn it. You can throw it away. You can scan it in and delete the paper. Whatever you want to do. It's cathartic as all hell. But yeah, I mean, fucking hell, it's emotionally quite charged stuff. I mean, who am I? with no mental health training, who should probably think about getting something so that I'm not fucking up anybody's lives, would be quite useful. I do try. I'll get through the ABA training first. And then I'll be allowed to practice on people. Children. Oh, children. Children, come into my ABA clinic. Let me analyze you. I know, I forgot to say about my favourite trolls. This was important because of the ABA thing. Here's the thing about my favourite trolls. My favourite trolls, and they don't know the trolls. My favourite hater, I guess. My favourite haters, okay? My absolute all-time favourite haters. And I love this so much. Are you ready? Are you ready? My all-time favourite haters. Okay. I've posted a couple examples in Discord. I have had other examples, but they're not as clear-cut as the ones I've shared. My favourite ones. And I grin from ear to... I grin like the Joker from Batman when I get these comments. It'll be somebody saying, why am I seeing this video in my feed? I am not autistic. Why is Google showing me this video? I don't want to see it. Please remove this from my feed immediately. I am not autistic. I don't want to see it. And I always think, see you in a year. They're mad at the algorithm, but the algorithm's actually pretty diagnostically accurate, I think. Just from what I know, from what I know. See you soon. Who doesn't know? Yeah. It just makes me giggle. I often see it. It's so funny. Quite often it's from people with a profile picture where they're obviously in completely different cultures. Maybe they're from one of the African countries. Maybe they're much older generation as well. Often it'll be somebody from a much older generation, and they'll be like, "I can't be autistic," and it's like, "What?" well. Sometimes I'll click their channels and I'll be like, you want to talk about that record collection? I'm sorry, it just literally makes me lose my mind. It's one of the funniest things. It's just so funny. It's very meta. I can't explain this joke to anyone else except you guys. It's not a joke people would necessarily understand. But it's just on a whole fundamental level. Google knows them better than they do. Exactly. I was seeing autistic videos in my feed. Goes off to look at train videos so many of the time. Yeah. I mean, maybe they like cats a whole lot. That's all. Yeah. Do you know? I don't know. I mean, I don't tend to get like cat community people coming over. Maybe I need to do more cat stuff. It stands there in an anorak with a thermos next to them, checking off trains or planes. Take care, Jess. Great, enjoy. Sorry I've messed people's comments, so I'm having a little scroll here. People think autism is something to be ashamed of. Yeah. I don't. I guess the whole love on the spectrum thing. I didn't plan any love on the spectrum specific content for this stream. Should have done, really, shouldn't I? But yeah, I guess people do see autism as something to be ashamed of, which is it's just neither here nor there. You know, people need some nuanced degree of support for their day-to-day lives and to achieve their maximum potential, and we should help them with that. And people are different, and we should appreciate that. There is almost certainly an evolutionary drive for neurodivergent brains, you know. I mean, I don't need to sell, you know, neurodivergent brains. You can kind of go back, if you go back sort of modern humans, anatomically modern humans, 200,000 years would be a very safe conservative number to use. Some would go as far back as 400,000, but you know, if I say 200,000, I'm in the right ballpark. You could pick up someone from 200,000 years ago in a time machine, bring them up to date now. They are anatomically modern humans. They'd be very confused, anatomically modern humans, but they're anatomically modern humans. I don't know. I reckon you'd find autistic traits in some of them. I reckon you would. I think the whole kind of neurodivergent kind of brains definitely goes back much further than that. It might even go back as far as the rest of the animal kingdom, you know, way back, like way back. You know, common ancestors with cats and dogs. I mean, you know, I'm just saying, there's no reason to believe that's not the case. I'm not proposing a hypothesis here. I'm just saying. There is definitely an evolutionary driver for it. Extremely compatible with farming, fishing, and trapping. You're 100% right. ADHD is more compatible with active gathering and hunting. It's Pat Van Driver. Totally. Exactly what I'm saying. I agree. 100%. 100%. 100%. Yeah, I think we could go really far back with autism. And ADHD and other neurodivergencies as well. You could even consider you know, other changes. I don't know who Quinn is. You might be thinking there, Yona, about Autismatic. If you Google Quinn Autismatic, you'll find his channel. You're a little autistic more than once. We respond to I think another little one. I mean, these are all hot takes, and they're all worth like conversations in their own right. And you know what? I think we shouldn't be afraid to have these conversations, even if they're not completely evidenced. I've had a few comments on my Love on the Spectrum video from people disappointed in me because I didn't like fully evidence everything I was saying. And it's like, yeah, I know. And giving you my opinion. It's like, I feel like I made a really strong case in a number of ways. And it's like, and I'm also giving you my opinion. I'm telling you what I think. Are we watching the same show here? And it's like, oh, I forgot what I was saying. Can I get it back by reading the chat? I don't think so. I have a high tolerance for tedium as long as she's obsessed with something. I don't blame you for strategic clickbait. It's a hot topic now and controversial on Reddit. I can tell you this. I looked up the trend for Love on the Spectrum and it's down. It is actually, believe it or not, go to it. Google Trends. Google.com/trends. Write Love on the Spectrum US, whatever. It was a hot trend. But it's gone now. The wave happened maybe a couple of months ago, to a month ago. It's like it's quite low now. It's not zero, but it has dropped off. I'm not saying that I wouldn't jump on a trend, because depending what and when and what not, what else I was doing, I might. But yeah, nah, Love on the Spectrum on too late. 2 months ago is the right time to do it. Oh, it definitely generates comments, and I happen to know ABA. I don't even know where that is on Google Trends. I haven't done that yet. But ABA will generate comments for sure. I know a lot of people will get very angry with me about it. You should see how angry people got with me when I said that autistic people aren't necessarily star seeds with superpowers. That set a lot of people off. Hundreds of people. Like literally hundreds of people. It got really, really bad. It got really, really bad. I love Mum on the Spectrum's channel. Taylor, yeah, I haven't seen a bad Mum on the Spectrum video. I don't watch it. There's a limit as to how much stuff I can consume, and like I've got like, I don't know if you guys know this, but I have the same 24 hours you guys do, and I'm kind of maxed out right now. I'm kind of bugged a bit. Oh, that's right. I was trying to tell you something. You are going to see like this channel become particularly amazing once I've finished getting rid of software engineering. Nina came home today, and I could barely say hello because I was still working. That's the reason why the stream was delayed 15 minutes. Because I was answering support tickets at like quarter past 7, and it's like I don't have time to like set everything up. I've got to turn the camera on. I've got to plug things in. I've got to boot up my PC, shut my Mac down. I was still working at like quarter past 7 before starting the stream. Literally right up to it, right up to like, oh my god, I've got to go. And set things up and get a drink and maybe get something to eat. She made something to eat. M&S fish cakes and chips. It was all right. It worked. And because I like them, she knows I like them, so she got them for me on the way back from work. And that's it. Plant Kitchen, by the way, not real fish. I think it's like butter beans or something, butter beans and dill. Anyway, I digress. My point is when I don't have to do like tech stuff, my brain means I can do autism stuff. And when I'm not doing autism stuff, I can just like sleep and stuff. That would be cool. But I am full-time YouTuber, but I'm not actually properly full-time YouTuber. I've got 2 jobs and I don't want 2 jobs. I'm not coping. So yeah, you'll see this channel get so much better once I no longer have 2 jobs. I will be poorer, but I'm not complaining. Oh god, it's not a pitch for money. Like the whole fact that you guys are on Patreon means I can do this. Like I can make the transition, but it's taking so damn long. I just need to hurry up. Oh my god. Becca's Flying Rainbow, check the ABA trends. I will go onto Google Trends and just type ABA and things in. I imagine it hasn't changed much. The other problem with ABA, if you're looking at ABA trends, genuinely, I'm just going to say this out loud, is that there are a billion types of ABA now. So ABA has splintered into a number of different things. You know, like Christianity had a certain kind of schismatic event. So there were a number... Well, I'm not necessarily talking about King Henry VIII's family values, kind of founding the Church of England away from the Roman Catholic Church. And then, that's just comedy, by the way. I mean, that is what happened, but I'm just making fun of it. And then moving off from there, we have all of the different Protestant Christian sects. ABA has done the same thing. ABA has split into a buttload of sects. Some of them still have links back to the BACB, and some of them don't. So there are a large number of different ABAs now. So for example, you'll hear Floor Time being mentioned. Floor Time is still linked with ABA. As in, it is ABA. All of these things are ABA. Oh, fuck me. There's ABA, like dog training ABA. There's all sorts of shit now. Oh my God. Yeah. So it's kind of hard to kind of trend because ABA itself is kind of dissolving into I haven't found them all. There's like a dozen of them that I found, but there's probably more. Everyone's just creating their own version of ABA now, pulling it out their ass and spinning it off. Floor time is a type of ABA. Tanner, his Abby from Love on the Spectrum, Abby Romeo, she had floor time as well. So that was a type of ABA. But if you were searching for trends, you'd have to search for floor time, and then, well, floor time could mean a number of things. So it could be like sanding the floor or vacuum cleaning, I guess, or just play or whatever. Oh, TJ, there is a whole new. I'm not going to get into it right now. I lack the energy. But there is specifically an ABA that uses clicker training. I was one of them kids in ABA. Becca's Flying Rainbow, how did you find it? And you wouldn't have been the only one, by the way. Quite a few people in here also share that experience. Floor time is a kind of like a spin-off of ABA. It's literally a spin-off in the same way that a Netflix show would be a spin-off. It is still connected. It still has to pay license fees to it. Your parents told you. Okay, so you lack full awareness of what you were put through. Okay, that's actually possibly a good thing. Are you fucking serious? Yes, when am I not serious? Strange Quasar. Okay. When I'm making a dead parrot twerk on screen to 1970s funk music. Just wait for my video on ABA. I'll try and make it as... I am trying to make it as accurate and as nuanced as any piece on ABA has ever been. I'm not trying to big myself up. I'm just trying to be... that's my goal. It's just say the thing about ABA and then I have a link I can just give people as opposed to talking about it all the time, because I'm not saying... You know what I mean. I'm not tabooing it. I'm just saying it's like... Authentic. I'll tell you what the pattern is, and I can evidence it. The pattern is, for some reason, it's a mom. I don't understand why it's the mothers that are like this, and not the fathers necessarily. I don't understand the link. Why it's a mother thing and not really a father thing. Like, it's weirdly, isn't it? And no, I'm not going to interview people, Isabella. I can't. BCAB won't talk to me. Practitioners who are used to talking on camera, for example, Kaylin, has not consented to interview. Prominent therapists and things have not consented. Most people have not consented, and that's because, of course, it's bad for them to do so. I dare say it's not safe to talk to me about ABA. If you know you have a bullshit job, I'm not saying all ABA is bullshit. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying if you have a bullshit job and you want to talk to me and defend your bullshit job, and I'm making a documentary about your bullshit job, I don't think it's... I wouldn't advise talking to me about your bullshit job. Does that make sense? Like, you're just making trouble for yourself. The driver for ABA is typically dissatisfied parents. Because ABA is not something that happens... I don't want to bring this up. I don't want to make complicated analogies. Whenever I make an analogy, people pick it apart and go, every analogy breaks down if you push it too far, okay? Don't push this one too far. Most men in Europe are not circumcised. Most men in America are. Of the men in America that are circumcised, they were circumcised as children. Now, those are facts. What we don't see is adult men in Europe presenting themselves for a cosmetic or routine circumcision as adults. It does not happen. Why is that? The reason for that is because it is a procedure that is done to someone when they are a child. Parents make the decision they choose to. We don't tend to see in the same way, particularly compliance-based ABA, which is a great deal of it, is done to children when they are very young by parents that are dissatisfied with where they are. Layla P, I am going to be BACB. BCBA, sorry, my brain is broken. In the same way, we don't see non-speaking autistic adults presenting themselves for ABA. Is that good? Is that clear? Is that like crystal? Is that crystal clear? None of the qualifications in the BCBA are quite what they seem. In order to qualify for RBT level, you need 40 hours, which is all I'm going to do. I'm just doing the first rung, which is the RBT level. But the RBT is part of the BCBA. The therapists that practice on children have had the same training that I am doing. I will be able to charge people and have clients. And 5% of those hours every month, 15% actually, I think, in the first month, has to be supervised by someone more senior. Right. Let me just work on this analogy because this is super important. If anybody clips this out of context, I'm going to be so annoyed with you. We don't have adults, non-speaking adults, presenting themselves as new intake clients for behavioral adjustment services. Call it that? We don't have that. That does not happen. So the driver, the intake, is parents have a child. They get a diagnosis of autism by one route or another. Parent grieves and is unhappy. Parent needs that child to be made whole again. Needs to be made normal, dare I say. Needs to be made more neurotypical. Parent then seeks out adjustment services, psychiatric adjustment services, effectively. I'm trying to do this as kindly as I possibly can, and I'm trying to pick my words very carefully. And I'm not saying all ABA is bad, of course not. It's like saying all surgery is bad when, some surgeons are doing bad things. So this begs the question of, how do you tell the difference? How does someone, any of you, how do you tell the difference? You're presented with a therapist in front of you who wants your insurance money because it's in America. Pretty much this is an American phenomenon. How do you know? They're going to spend time alone with your child. How do you know? They're going to take $15, $16 an hour even for 30 hours a week with your 2-year-old. who's throwing food and hitting and punching and scratching and has just received an autism diagnosis. What do you do? What do you do? Well, you know fuck all about autism and you go, well, I'm just going to do it because I'm a good parent and good parents seek medical attention for their children when they... And that's all parents know. Parents know fucking nothing. I genuinely mean this. Most people know fuck all about ABA. That's why... I have corresponded with a great deal of clinics and service providers and therapists and psychologists, none of whom can tell me how to tell the difference between the bad ABA that they know happens and the good ABA. No one can tell me. And the fact of the matter is I have now all of the student materials. I have the ethics guide. Blah, 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 blah. I hear people say that you cannot withhold food as punishment. You can't use positive punishment. In other words, smacks, electric shocks. Yes, you can. Do I blame parents for seeking ABA for their children? Not really. Insofar as they're clearly people who are stressed and they want the best for the children and they not research minded. Maybe it's okay for me to say this. I am research minded, whereas they're not. So should I be blamed for not fixing my own wiring when I have a wiring issue? Do I call an electrician? I don't do it myself. I call an electrician because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I mean, could I have been an electrician? Yeah. Could I study to be an electrician and pass and do all the electrician stuff? Yes. But I'm not an electrician and I don't know what I don't know. So I call someone. How do I know that they're a good electrician? I don't. How do I know this electrician isn't going to just suddenly catch fire and immolate themselves and I'm going to have to rescue them? I don't know that. How do parents know when they present their children to me at a swimming pool that I'm going to be a good, responsible instructor? How do parents know when they introduce their, where they don't introduce their kids to me because the kids know who I am, but like I take their kids out on a boat and we go to snorkel in some caves and shit? How do parents know that I am good and insured and trained and part of a club? How do parents know? How do you know that your food is clean when you eat at a restaurant? Recommendations and reviews? Yeah, good. Yeah, totally. That's one thing. And parents don't know what they don't know. Yeah, totally. And like, should they be expected to know? I'm not going to go... I'm not in any way attacking anyone in terms of like blaming them for this. Like... How do you know that reviews are honest? And where'd you get reviews from? Like... And then you got culture. So say, for example, when I got my tattoos, I asked people and I looked online and I looked at the tattooist's work and I saw their portfolio. It was their portfolio that swung it, really. I have a few clues. One of them is that adults are not lining up for ABA services. I know that being autistic has disadvantaged me and there are certain things that I am not good at. Okay? I know, looking at my character sheet, my D&D character sheet for me, for Mike, I know that I have weaknesses. And I try to work on those, actually. And I have some content about that coming up down the line. what am I going to do about the fact that I'm as fucking low dexterity cat? Right? How do I manage it? What do I do? You know, are there therapies available? Yes. How do I know who to choose? How do I know what to do? All of these are really good questions. No one really knows. So it's all really good questions. All really good questions to ask. Okay? All amazingly good questions to ask. But the fact of the matter is you don't know. And you have to deliberate. And you're a tired, stressed parent. The other problem is you've got parents around you, because this is not this is happening in a bubble. You have parents around you. Okay? It's a bit like this whole moral panic about more trans people in California. Is that true? God, no, of course not. No more than like there's more gay people there or whatever. It's just more accepted, more visible. When you have communities of like-minded people, for example, if you have a village, a rural town in the US with ABA clinics everywhere you look, you've got your choice to pick from, it becomes the done thing. It becomes of course you're going to go get an ABA provider. It's become a really big business. 2-figure US billions a year. I've seen figures as high as 3-figure billions, but it kind of pulls in some other shit as well. It's really big business. It's massive. So, it's a complicated, nuanced thing. But on the whole, in general, I would avoid it. I would not recommend it. I have biases, so I clearly list those just to be on to cards on the table. I have not been subject to formal ABA, but I know how sessions are done. I know how they're recorded. I know how they're planned. I know how they're charted. I know how they're sort of scientifically supported. Pretty mildly. I know how behaviorism came about. I've got all of that shit down. But in terms of actually the discussion of ABA, it kind of needs to be more. And people are going to lose their minds with me, and people are going to tell me how upset they are with me, and how I'm the worst person in the world, and how I'm not what they thought I am, and blah 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 blah. And to be fair, I am eye-rolly about all of that, but it is also kind of like a ugh. I'm not trying to change anyone. I'm not trying to convince anyone or to try to change anyone's minds. I'm trying to go, look, I've done this. In part, so you don't have to, but here's what I've done. Here are my references. This is where I've gone and been and done. This is interesting. This is what I found out. I hope you enjoy the journey. There is plenty of evidence about trauma in ABA, for sure. Particularly regards to compliance-based ABA or anything with positive punishment. These things are still practiced, still can be practiced. If anybody ever says to you that they can't use electric shocks in ABA therapy, they are wrong. ABA does not preclude these things. In fact, there's a center, the Judge Rottenberg Center in the US, that very much all over it. There's no scientific evidence for any of it, by the way, except for just behaviorism. Like, smack a dog really hard when it does something you don't like, it probably won't do it again because it fears pain and stress and anxiety and everything that goes along with that. So there is that. It's very effective. It's nice, easy conditioning. Don't do it, by the way. Just telling you. It is hard for parents to accept that they've maybe unintentionally harmed the kid. No parents do. I think very few people are doing any of this on purpose. They're not like going out. You know what I mean? Like, even if they're shitty parents and it's a sunk cost it can be a sunk cost fallacy. It can be a, well, fucking hell, I've carried this thing for 9 months. It's upturned our whole lives, everything about us, our work patterns, our sleep patterns, everything. They've invested so much. Ugh, what's another day? We'll just do another day. Even worst possible parents. They're not out to like spend money and fuck people over. ABA is kind of a middle class thing, right? Predominantly, the clients have means. It's predominantly aimed at middle class. Spend your money here. We'll fix your kid. Yeah, Anne-Marie, you're right. Yeah, be a responsible parent. Yeah, be a responsible parent, sustainable parent. Don't try to be a good parent. Yeah, I agree with you. 100%. Scott, so you're saying ABA works? No. Oh, please don't do this to me. We'll have that conversation later, Scott. It's not a question for my 11 p.m. And I think I went to bed at 5 a.m. Yeah, no, come on now. I've got a lot going on. It depends. Depends what you're optimizing for. You know, it depends if you're being ethical or not. I mean, you know, we learned a lot from Nazi doctors. An awful lot of medical advances. What do you want? What do you want to know? In fact, if you look into the whole Nazi doctor thing, we learned a lot about human physiology from the Nazis. Like, in terms of like ethics. And I think it's part of the issue with a lot of ABA practice as well, is that it just isn't medicine, it isn't regulated over here. So we don't have ABA in the same way that a lot of you do in the US. I'm aware of that. The other thing is that a lot of the actual de facto practices are not ethical. And if you are just going to play with a child and effectively just parent them, just reward them for good behavior, and if you're going to like follow ABA's process to document and graph, they call it graphing. If you're going to graph how many times Sally hits other kids or whatever, okay. But I would like to say there is communication there. I honestly, I feel like they're kind of like missing the point entirely. They're chasing their own tail. When a child's having a fucking meltdown and parents are videoing it and posting it on the internet, and I have watched quite a few of these videos, professional curiosity, but my God, it makes me feel utterly whole as in HOLE, not WHOLE, inside. Empty, vacuous, just devoid of happy emotion. Literal dementors are parents filming autistic children videos. That's what dementors are to me. Right? The Harry Potter things that suck out all of your happiness. Yeah, that. But the kids, right? Yeah, might be in a mall, big busy shopping mall, having a meltdown, whatever. And you'll see parents lying on top of them and this sort of thing, whatever, restraining them. Pray and restraint. Don't do it. It actually can kill people. The kid might not actually be intentionally trying to communicate. That's actually not what's on the kid's mind. The kid's brain is not going, I am trying to communicate something. Nobody's taking me seriously. I should lose my shit right now. That's a de facto tantrum in my book. That's I'm not getting, fuck you. I want the new Nintendo Switch 2. I'm going to scream until I get it. Right? That's not, these are separate. One is like a sense of entitlement. You're not meeting my entitled need, as opposed to all of the other, more the basic stuff. Something's not right. Something's not going right. It could be like a car where the engine's just grating. And it's like, fuck you, car. I'm just going to keep driving until you explode. It's like, no, there's a big fucking screeching noise. You want to, whoa, right, let's take the pressure off. Take the pressure off. Take all of the strain off the vehicle. Take all the pressure off. Fucking stop. Pull over. Just, whoa. We don't want to add more strain into this. We don't want to put more fuel in. We don't want to do anything. We just want to go, what the hell is going on? Back away. Figure it out. There is communication there. The car is not sentient. We're not in Stephen King world. The car is communicating something to you. Like you can learn, but people just go, oh, fucking hell. No one takes the fucking car and drives down the freeway, motorway, whatever it is where you live. What's the barn? I did that to a car once. There were consequences. Yeah, me too. I was late to get the ferry back to the island and it was late at night. It was about midnight. And I had to catch like the 1 a.m. ferry. And I'm driving down the motorway and the car just like losing all. Oh my God, it was like grinding. All I needed to do was get the car on the fucking boat. And if I got the car on the boat, it can break down on the island. That's okay. The car can break down on the island where someone can pick me up. And I'm safe. And it can break down over here. I don't want it to break down on a British UK motorway. That would be bad. Break down. I don't care where you break down, car. You are going. Yes, I forced the car. And it limped. It limped off the motorway, which was good. And it was broken for like half an hour. But eventually it started. I did miss the boat and I had to wait there ages and then I got on the next one. It was not the end of the world. And the car did eventually die, but it broke down on this side of the ocean. That's all I needed it to do. It could break down on the boat for all I care. I don't care. Break down on the boat. But at least I'm safe. There you go. So if we're going to do after party, it's going to have to be a small one because I've pushed this as far as I can go. What are we talking? 1, 2, 3, 4 hours on one of the worst days of my life. Let's go with that. I'm joking, but like my anxiety is very high. I don't get Buddhist lecturation or protest historically. Yeah, indeed. It's a very effective process, to be fair. I'm reading the chat. I have a little chat over here, little chat window. It's not a little chat window, it's a little screen, and I can zoom in and I can see like a few messages without having to squint. And then I've got the YouTube chat that you guys see over here, and I have to actually scroll it with my mouse in order to see it. Yeah, ABA makes it compliant. Yeah, it's about compliance. Yeah, it might just be compliance, as in like, quiet hands. Sit down, don't move, whatever. Blah blah blah. Blah. Doesn't matter if the child's been stimulated negatively in some other way. But we do also have. I don't think ABA conversation is helping anxiety. Listen, honest to God. I while thinking about ABA, I wasn't thinking about any of the things going on in my head. So actually, the ABA conversation was helping my anxiety. The ABA conversation actually worked. ABA conversation gave me some relief. The only thing is with the ABA conversation is I'm making sure my language is on point. Mike needs the mechanics. Yeah, this is true. Miss Pat, that's what I tend to do. I don't tend to put loops in though. I tend to put music on. Yeah. No. It's actually, I mean, I'll be perfectly honest with you. The only reason I entertained the ABA conversation was because it was a bit of relief. Things are bad if the idea of having a detailed, stressful conversation about the potential abuse of autistic people gives you relief, pretty cool, huh? Quite heavy. It's real. It's absolutely real. Oh, in terms of taxidermy, there is another thing, but I'm not going to show it to you on the stream. Oh, it's dusty back there. Going the wrong way. That thing is so pretty. It's really pretty. Who will comfort Toffle with a massive shell? That's really sweet. And he's quite funny because I actually know like some Moomin references now. I never did before. I have Moomin references. Which, as Moomins is like not my interest, but like, so sweet that you guys love it, and Moomins is like, I now have Moomins in my brain. It's like I have no use for this. I have Moomins in my head now. Okay, right. What we'll do is we'll do a short after party. We'll play a few games to get a bit of Drawful going on. Get a couple episodes of Drawful. And I'm going to bed. Happy birthday, Mike. See you on surprise stream. Yeah, the surprise stream that may or may not happen, but it probably will happen. But no promises, but it might not happen, but it might happen. What I'll do is I'll almost certainly be on Discord. Who am I kidding? I'll be on Discord, right? So I'll let people know, you know. So if you're a Discord member, you'll get a bit of notice that there's going to be a stream. If you're not, I'm sorry, you won't. I don't really want to post on YouTube or make a promise that I'm going to post on YouTube. Sorry, it's just more stuff that I don't want. I don't want the obligation. I have to then keep track of it and go, fuck me, did I post on YouTube? It's not happening. So it may or may not happen. Arab, welcome. You have just missed most of it. But you got it. That's the important thing. Royal One, congratulations. Thank you for joining. Quite a lot's happened in this stream. It's very up and down. I hope you enjoy it. I'm leaving the recording up, so there's plenty to watch. What have you got to see? There's the Jordan Peterson moment. There's the tale of the Plushy. There's the cake and the spider. There's the twerking dead parrot. There's the love on the spectrum section. There's a little conversation about some shit that I'm going through. There is conversation about ABA. And there's so much. Did I get it all? For an unplanned, I mean, this I know the stream is it's kind of scheduled, but like it is unplanned. And a bit of poly dancing. Yeah. But there is going to be a stream tomorrow. It might be about this time, maybe whatever. Tomorrow is technically birthday stream, and we'll do some stuff. Yeah, cool. I know a few of you have sent things. Nothing has arrived yet, so it might coincidentally also mean that there might be a bit of an unboxing stream tomorrow as well. It's another 24-hour opportunity for the post to come good for a bit more unforbidden unboxing stream. So it could be fun. But what I can guarantee you is kittens, or kittens, not kittens, big kittens. I can guarantee you cats that were kittens that are a year old. But tomorrow we'll have a bonus, might have a bonus stream of some description. Quality and timing to be confirmed on Discord. How's that? I do try.
Neurodeficit, and you were neurodifferent.
I'm going to go through everyone here. Yona.
Neurodeficit,
Sorry. Miss Pat Van Driver Lady.
and you were neurodifferent.
Helen.
Neurodeficit,
Becca's Flying Rainbow.
and you were neurodifferent.
Sorry about that. I'm going to take that one away with you. Michael B.
Neurodeficit,
Graham Anderson.
and you were neurodifferent.
Snail Kitty.
Neurodeficit,
Zed Bird.
and you were neurodifferent.
Lisa J.
Neurodeficit,
Anne Marie.
and you were neurodifferent.
Juju.
Neurodeficit,
An Arab.
and you were neurodifferent.
Royal One.
Neurodeficit,
Barvinci.
and you were neurodifferent.
Layla P.
Neurodeficit,
Romanian Peasant.
and you were neurodifferent.
I like this. Ashley Renee.
Neurodeficit,
Charlie.
and you were neurodifferent.
Phoenix.
Neurodeficit,
Yannicka.
and you were neurodifferent.
Ashley Renee.
Neurodeficit,
Becca's Flying Rainbow. I think I've done you already.
and you were neurodifferent.
Lisa J.
Neurodeficit,
Anne Marie.
and you were neurodifferent.
Scott R.
Neurodeficit,
And the rest of you.
and you were neurodifferent.
I'll see some of you in a Discord soon.
And you were neurodifferent. Neurodeficit,
I like to touch them.
neurodeficit, and you were neurodifferent.
I like rusty spoons.
Neurodeficit, and you were neurodifferent. Neurodeficit, and you were neurodifferent. Neurodeficit, and you were neurodifferent.
I like to